Oh, Christ. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 162 of the Xbox Hall of Gamers podcast. That's going to be a bitch to edit. This week, I'm joined by Keo.
Hello, everyone.
Cameron.
Hello.
And our special guest, Lee, from the XboxCast.
Hello.
How are we all doing today, guys?
It's Friday.
It is Friday. Thanks fuck for that.
I slept half the day, and I don't know why. I just lay down on the sofa, and I'm like, oh, 11:30 a.m. I guess I had nothing to do today. But
Mate, you got video games to play. What are you doing? You can't be sleeping.
I know. I need to be playing video games.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not what I'm doing at the moment. So.
Yeah, I just finished my first week at my new job, and it's good fun. Got to meet a bunch of people and make lots of tree jokes and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's been really good. It's been a bit of an adjustment.
Are you a tree hugger? Are you a tree hugger?
I am now, apparently. I'm a contractually obligated tree hugger. So if you want, I'll do some cross promotion once I'm a bit more established.
Work or something? Yeah. Okay. Do you contract work tree hugging?
Yeah. Well, I mean. Sure, you know,
some money on the side.
It's more about tree planting, to be honest. But we get other people to do the hugging for us. But
I mean, I've always wondered how money comes from trees. So
it's true. They say it doesn't grow on trees, but it certainly costs to get them in the first place.
Yeah, he's all about growing wood these days.
That's true. That's just call me the Lorax.
Stroking wood. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No, get them all get all your leaf jokes out now. Get a branch manager. I've been hearing it all fucking week. Oh boy. Lee, how you been doing? It's been a while since we've had you on the show.
It's been ages. Yeah. No, all good, mate. Yeah. The podcast is ticking over. We seem to be more YouTube than audio, though. Weirdly.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of growth in the YouTube space as well. Actually, I guess people want to see the faces or the kind of faces. Not sure. I'm not really sure what it is.
No, but very strange. Our numbers have literally flipped around.
Wow. Okay.
We've gone way more YouTube than audio. It's really odd. Yeah.
Oh, that is interesting.
Very strange. But yeah, podcast is going well. We have stuff happening, so we're still doing events, which is fun.
Love those.
Yep. So lots of community stuff going on, which people seem to enjoy. So we just keep pushing it. Trying to make up random stuff.
Yeah, I basically stole the theme month idea from you guys anyway. So
I did. It's awesome. 2 monthly. What do you call it? The bi-monthly.
The bimestral burden. Yeah,
that's right.
That's a Keo name there. He did.
It was awesome. He's
deep diving in the thesaurus for that one.
Yeah, I did some word crafting. Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No. That's all me. There's no.
Yeah, there's no robots involved.
ChatGPT cannot come up with bimenstrual burden.
No, that's true.
No,
absolutely not.
No, not at all.
All right. Well, as always, we do the show live on Twitch. Xbox Hall of Gamers is a place to find us. So you can come say hi, hang out in the chat. We've got Left for Legacy in here with my wonderful wife is subbing in to make jokes about trees. But yeah, let's get into the news. We got a little bit this week. I'm just going to rush through this quick one here. Spectre Divide, which, if you don't know, is a game that I think came out on Steam or came out on PC a few months back and just came out on Xbox a couple weeks ago. And they announced they were immediately shutting it down because it was not happening after their first season started. They have made 2 of the more difficult achievements just like unlock straight away when you log into the game. So there's an achievement for like ranking up in your crew and hitting like top spot in your crew that you get assigned to. They just give you those achievements now, which is why Cameron and I have started playing the game. But it is going to still be a bit of a rush. We need to finish it before April 11th, I think, is when they said roughly when it's going to close down. We don't actually know an exact date yet. But
April 11th, and they expect to take offline by April 12th.
Yeah, right. So it's we'll talk a little about it when we get to it, but it's an interesting game. I can see why it's like gone nowhere, to be honest, because it's in a very, very competitive space. But playing through it was actually like not bad, and like the fact that they gave out these 2 achievements that are like really time crunchy to do, I'm super happy about it. Like I think we have like 2 achievements left to get in the game, and we only played like the last couple of nights. So
yeah, we've played like 2 nights, and we've only got like weekly challenges and win 1 ranked match to do. So
yeah, so so it's pretty interesting. But it's good to see that kind of even when they're shutting this stuff down, they're being supportive.
We'll say, adding on to that though, just should we talk about it a little bit now?
Yeah, we
I
can
want
do.
to
I
talk
don't think
about
it's
the achievement hunting. I guess notes. So I would only approach this game if you're in a team of 3, or you can have 3 players to.
yeah. You need 3
basically
people
set up.
for it.
So I would say the player count at the moment seems to be mostly achievement hunters from what we've.
For the most part, we've only run into Xbox people, even though crossplay is on. So I'm guessing most of them are achievement hunters, or at least like a lot of people. I think a lot of people are still queuing solo, so they're not like running with teams. But I'm still getting a lot of messages and invites from people at random times to play the game, from like recent players lists and stuff. So clearly, people are trying to get these 3-player achievements.
So if you don't set yourself up, you need to win with 3 players.
Well, you need to play
3
3.
matches.
Yeah, you got to play
3 matches with 3 players to end up in a crew, which is going to be a high chance of all ending up together. If you're playing solo games, you might be matched with randoms. And then if you get matched with randoms, you'll potentially lock yourself out of the playing with 3 people in a crew.
Yeah, so the idea is that the crews are randomly assigned, but if you're all 3 of you are in the same game playing those sort of 3 entry matches, you'll almost certainly get put in the same crew, so you can get the 3-player achievement after that. But if you're really unlucky, you might just get in a random crew and not know anyone, so you need to try and convince. And this is why I'm getting invites, because people are seeing me on the crew list and being like, I need a 3rd person for my crew to get the achievement for this. I can't just pull randoms in. I kind of understand why they have this system of like randomly assigning stuff, but it's a real fucking pain to make an achievement for it.
So Chin just asked like what style of game it is. To be honest, to me, it's like very Rogue Company.
Oh no, yeah, it's Counter Strike. It is 100% just Counter Strike. It is like you got terrorists on one side, counter terrorists on the other. One of you has a bomb. It's literally you have a buy phase at the beginning. It runs for way too many rounds. And you have some like light abilities. You don't have like powers as such, but you can like buy certain grenades and stuff. It has more like a Valorant slant to it in terms of like the abilities are pretty low key. It is very much still about like shoot person in head with gun.
Yeah.
Just a quick question. So is it free to play? Is it cheap?
Yeah, free to play. Yeah, free to play. Yeah. So
okay, cool.
Your main mechanic is all centered around you're playing 2 characters at the same time, but you're primarily one character, but then you're pressing your RB to throw grenades that will like essentially respawn that other player there.
Yeah. So you kind of switch between your 2 characters, but you need to keep, obviously the one that you're not playing as, you need to keep them safe. So you usually put them somewhere tactical, like in a corner or something, so you can swap to them. And so when you die, you end up with your other character. But it's, if one guy's running around and you sneak around the back and you find his other body, you can just shoot it in the head because it's not moving. And so it's interesting. It's a real interesting. It's got the idea of like having 2 controllers and having to switch between them. Yeah, I don't know. It's Chin Doctor says
is it just too weird? Is it just too weird and why it's not working?
I think it's.
Is it just too kind of out there?
I think it's just like underrated. Like it's one of those games that's in a very populated market. There's nothing really selling you on the idea.
Yeah, like it is very Valorant adjacent, but like Valorant and like between Valorant and Counter Strike, like you've got like this sci-fi powerish version of that and the very strict like straight lace, just SWAT style version. Like there's not really anything else that can fit in that market. And like I think it's an interesting idea having this kind of like dual player thing. And there's a couple of interesting synergies where it's like when you buy guns for each of your 2 characters, you can't have the same guns. They actually have different lists and slightly different abilities. So like you kind of like mix and match. Like there's a little bit of strategy in there. And like Cameron and I, we had like a good amount of fun playing through it last couple of nights. It's too many. It's like first to 7 wins though, or 8 wins rather. It's like way too many rounds. It's like could be as many as 15 rounds. So the game's gone on for a bit long, but yet like Kirby says, like at the very very saturated market, and like it's I think like Fragpunk just came out, same sort of thing, like same sort of idea. It's like these games, especially in the free to play space, they have a really hard time kind of just really trying to like get cut through. And so you could tell this one just like they launched it on console and then like a week later announced they were shutting it down, which is just insane.
It's hard enough playing with 2 characters too, but I've been playing with 4 because I've also
you've been double boxing,
Yeah, you can still go on the Reddit page and find the dedicated following because Kiku's been around, causing trouble, saying the game wouldn't last and then it didn't.
Yep.
kind of gone back there.
He did. Yeah. He got kicked off the Discord.
Causing more trouble. He did.
Hey, look, we got a Jim Bean in the audience.
Yeah, Beans is in the house, and also Carl as well.
Oh, mate. Oh, yeah, there he is. Oh, hey, fellas, how we doing? Yeah, so I think overall, I think it's an interesting game and kind of fun, but it's it was never going to have any. And I also think we've seen so many of these live service games kind of go down that route where it's free to play, your Rumble versus your what was that one that
Metaverse?
Just all of them, yeah. I mean,
Metaverses came out.
Multiverses. Yeah, they're just again shutting that down. It's a graveyard. It's crazy.
I really like this game, but I wonder what legs did they expect it to have? I didn't expect it to die this quickly, but
I mean, to be fair, it doesn't look like it needed to have a huge it didn't need a huge success, right? I think if it had a moderate success, it would have been fine for a bit. Made the company some money. They can work on the next project.
Who's the studio though? Is it like an EA sort of big company?
No, it's a small sort of independent, I believe. Or
Mantop Studios.
Yeah, I don't think
that Wix real quick, isn't it? They'll give us no chance to breathe and actually get out there.
Yeah, exactly. It's a real shame. But it's even big publishers, right, have had these games that just have not taken off.
But they can afford to shut them down, can't they?
Exactly.
The little guys can't afford to shut them down, surely.
Yeah, because then the business is just gone, basically. Yeah, it's a real shame. But yeah, well, so again, this achievement thing is the only reason that Cameron and I agreed to do it, because I was kind of looking at it going, this is really not my kind of game. But we're having a decent time with it, and we got to get 2 more wins in casual and then 1 win in ranked, and hopefully the daily challenges tonight are easy enough that we can get that achievement. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm also fucking bad at the game. I'm having a good time, but I'm playing against proper sweats. I would just do. Part of it is the lag though, because there's no one playing on the Oceanic server. So
always the lag, mate. Yeah.
It's 200 millisecond ping. Right. It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's you shoot a guy and you're oh no, you're behind the wall and you die.
Look, snipers have been teaching you for years. You've got to aim ahead.
Exactly. Yeah, got to take in the Coriolis effect and all that kind of stuff.
Did you not play Quake on dial-up back in the day?
Oh my god. Yeah, don't get me started. Yeah.
I feel just a little bad because I'm enjoying it so much. There are moments that I've been able to pop off.
Yeah, to be fair, when you pop off, it's great. When you because there's an achievement for getting an ace, which is killing all 6 members of the team, enemy team on your own, and there's an achievement for it. So we both have it, and occasionally it happens, and you just fucking absolutely clutch, and it's a really good feeling. And because I don't play a lot of online multiplayer competitive games because it's not really my kind of thing, but I can see in moments like that where I'm I get it, I understand why there's that appeal to it of just fucking destroying another human being. Or several of them, and just knowing that they're just throwing their fucking controllers.
Just owning the game, mate.
It's great.
The game, isn't it?
Yeah, but yeah.
You know what? It's the perfect game to play after watching Severance.
It's a split personalities. Yeah.
Personalities.
Yeah, exactly. Kirby says he lives in Darwin, so his ping starts at 200 milliseconds. That's what I get for living on an island too. But yeah, let's see what else is on the news. There's this whole Game Hub thing going on. Cameron, do you want to tell me a bit about this?
So I saw this on Twitter the other day. Xbox is testing out a new Game Hub feature for consoles in their, what is it, alpha?
It's in the alpha skip ahead ring.
Yeah, the alpha. Yeah, skip ahead. Yep.
Yeah, so Xbox insiders can now test the feature. It's called Xbox Game Hubs. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it a little bit, just because they got optional aspects of it.
Have you seen the video of it? Have you seen the video?
Yeah,
showing it how it works. Yeah.
So, pretty much, it becomes how they've set it up. It's a press once to enter the Game Hub, or press twice to play the game.
Right.
So whenever you select a game from your recently played games list of installed games, the menu will show you information like player stats, achievements, friends who are playing, recent captures, available add-ons, events, and more. The example I saw was WWE 2K25. They have the achievements on the side. I think they had purchasable DLC. And then they had capture, which I think, as it currently stands, the Game Hub in the series it's just too well hidden.
Well, yeah, I think they
it takes too many clicks to bring up.
They did definitely make it more like front and center when the Xboxes. I think it was the Xbox One first came out, and they had like back when they had what is mixer integration and stuff like that, whereas like the social elements were a lot bigger part of the Xbox experience. But over the years, as people have like not used them or Mixer closed down and just like moved away from it, and like it's like seeing any of their Game Hub stuff. The only time I look at the Game Hub is when my achievements haven't unlocked and I need to go and try and force them to.
To me, it's like when you're trying to force a multiplayer game, like especially something that's a little bit older.
Yeah.
And you need to just like looking for groups. The biggest benefit for me is like easy access to DLC.
Sure.
I don't know about you guys, but the trying to get to the store, trying to scroll through a list, get the exact typing correct of what the DLC is.
So the search function sucks, so you can never find it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's just the amount of games I own now, or if it's just.
I think it's just the store experience is bad. Yeah.
So I guess anything that speeds me up making a purchase is a lot more beneficial. To me, the biggest problem with this is I really don't like press A, then press A again to play your game.
It's like double
Doesn't
clicking.
sound like the right. It should be the menu button, shouldn't it?
It really should. Exactly. Yeah.
To me, it should be single press versus long press.
Definitely a different button. Yeah, like even if it was Y over the, and not, so B's obviously always go back, but if you did like Y, like you had, I don't think is it in the current one you press Y to go to other options or something.
I think it's
one of the builds they had the way you could press Y to go to like.
Oh really? No, okay, yeah, I didn't know.
Or something. Yeah, but I have this on the Xbox One. This kind of popped up, and I kind of like it. I actually think it's really good to kind of have everything together. The thing I don't like about it is that it becomes like a new panel that comes up. If it was hovering, I'd probably like it a little bit better.
Oh, like just hovering over it for
why is it not just holding like selecting the game and it pops up? Why doesn't it just do that? Like you go over it for a few seconds and it pops up.
Yeah, like a hover or something would be. It's probably.
I'm pretty sure that's what happens on PlayStation. Because they have like a panel that goes horizontally left to right with all of your things. If you go left to right, it just appears underneath the game. All of this stuff is just right there because all of their panels across. I guess the two top.
The cross media bar thing, right? Yeah.
So they've got so much room underneath where just pressing the button across the different things just shows everything else, and you just press down, and it's got something very similar to this. So.
I don't. It's an interesting one because, like I have a background in UX, and so I'm always interested to see when people do dashboard ups. I mean, people have been complaining about the recent Discord update, right? And just because people really don't like it, so it's an interesting kind of time for this. And so, like the idea of creating friction between someone starting up their console and playing a game potentially is a bit of an interesting one. Like they must have a pretty compelling reason to want to make that change. And to be fair, that compelling reason could be my boss told me to do it. But like it just
it's me the job.
It's like we need a UX redesign so I can keep my UX redesign job. But it just seems interesting that they've created something that stops you from getting to the game. But then again, I guess to Microsoft, they don't actually care that you get into the game. They actually want you to see the store and see the ads and buy stuff, DLC. Right? Like, yeah, they'd much rather you buy a DLC and never play a video game ever.
How long until they start putting ads in there as well?
Oh, that was going to be my next question.
Or exactly. Games like this,
Yeah, that was going to be the next thing I brought up. Like, I'm not sure about you, but the frequency of the loading onto a console and having that interstitial ad show up. I got one the other day for Assassin's Creed Shadows. And every time it happens, I see people complaining on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like there's somebody that starts a massive like, why would Xbox do this to me? They showed me one ad.
I mean,
I get it, but I don't.
I mean, I agree. I don't think we should be seeing any ads for a service that I pay for, especially when I pay the top tier for it. But it's, again, like from a practical perspective, it's not the biggest thing in the world, right? But yeah, I still think that.
To me, it's being made aware of a product. It's fine. Like if I wasn't in the ecosystem, I'd probably. appreciate knowing a new Assassin's Creed came out this year.
I had less of an issue about it when it was only first-party titles. So Microsoft were like, yeah, we're just, you know. But the fact that it was an Ubisoft title that's third-party, that they obviously paid for this placement.
They're getting paid.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, okay, now this isn't just like, hey, we're promoting our products. This is this is just ad space now. It's a fucking billboard.
Yep.
Wait, so they're buying Ubisoft now, right? This is the
I mean, we'll get into people buying Ubisoft in a little bit. But I don't know. I guess I'm usually, again, I've never used the Game Hub. I don't really have a lot of use for it. So there was some talk about like optional features, like you can turn some of the stuff off or like configure it a little bit. I'm curious to see.
You can turn the actual option to use it, I think, off as well.
Yeah, great, perfect. I mean, I'll switch it off immediately because like
just turn it off.
The only thing I want there, I mean, if they didn't have that option in there, I'd have a big problem with it because obviously, like, I don't like taking choice away from consumers or adding friction to my games because the only time I spend on the dashboard is to switch between games. But
yeah. Well, I guess it's just like it is taking away an extra layer of like when you press more or options or whatever, it brings up like the right-click style thing that you get on, Windows, and you go, okay, I want to see the Game Hub or I want to see the details or whatever. So just by pressing that one button, it does simplify it a little bit to bring up the whole everything about the game. So, and that's not a bad thing. And if you're a creator too, if you want to bring up something that just shows off all of the game, like if you get like a Game Pass weekly update thing and you're like, these are the new games, you could bring up everything about the game in one hit too.
That's true. It's very easily like recordable and shareable. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Cameron, you want to bring back Snap?
Yeah, bring back Snap. Bring back Snap.
Carl will be behind you as well, mate.
Yeah.
Why don't we just bring back the YouTube achievements as well then?
Oh,
that's right.
True achievements, yeah. And Netflix achievements are always the best ones.
Yeah.
All right. What else have we got on the news block?
So just on the back of that, there's actually a really cool function came out with the alpha as well, which was removing old games you forgot to uninstall.
Yeah, there was like a sort of memory cleanup thing that kind of. I thought we already had this, but I didn't realize. Yeah. Okay.
Wasn't there something a few months ago about that though?
But it's actually out now. I think that's the
difference.
Okay,
right.
Oh, okay, so it's out for all people.
Yeah, so now anyone, if you've got an old Game Pass game or game you haven't got the license for, it'll just remove it if you want to. That would just say.
Oh, that's handy. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have nearly enough games to actually.
I know. I'm pretty lean, but yeah, it's kind of handy if you have a lot of these stupid little games that you install to play and then forget about. Like it just clean it all up, doesn't it?
So I finished my Game Pass games. That's what I'm there for.
You're efficient. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Are you still able to take games with 0 gamer score off?
Yes, you can hide them. Yeah. You can hide them. Same as the Xbox One days. You can't remove them like you could back in the 360. But to be fair, I don't know anyone who actually looks at achievement menus of anyone else like these. Like again, like I've said many times, I've always been surprised that Microsoft hasn't done more in the TA space in terms of just like there's so much interesting stats and data there that they could potentially just replicate. But maybe it's just that they think TA does a good enough job that they don't want to play in that space. But the usability of like searching other people's profiles and kind of doing that kind of stuff, like what they played and stuff, is just completely trash on the console experience.
I think the only person I know that uses that compare feature is Nick.
Yes, yeah, because Nick to check what we've been up to, because he's
Nick will check what we've been doing.
A creepy little voyeur. To see what we've been playing. Like, mate, we talk about it on the podcast every week. If he just fucking listened to it, he would be fine.
He only tunes in for some of the week, and we don't do it anymore.
That's true, exactly. Yeah, he misses the dulcet tones. I understand.
Yeah.
All right. A few of the news stories. Not a lot of huge news this week, but there was a Nintendo Direct, and everyone got to wear their clown outfit because they thought Silksong was going to get announced again there.
No.
There's so many people. I saw someone saying, I bet everyone sold that they're going to be Hollow Knight Silksong news there, and a lot of Twitter responses were like, "Bro, what are you doing gambling my soul? Gambling my soul on long odds like that. That's bullshit."
Guys, they're obviously saving it for the Nintendo 2 Direct. Like it's
when Half-Life
We've been over
this as well, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And same time they bring out God, what else is like there's been a lot of vaporware recently, right? I guess for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of games that just haven't come out or got delayed endlessly.
Like GTA 6.
Yeah, GTA 6. Well, that's an interesting one there, right? GTA 6, apparently there's a bunch of developers and publishers who are just like keeping a wide berth of when GTA 6 comes out.
I saw that, yeah. For October, they reckon it's going to come out in October. So
yeah, they're just like, oh, we're just not going to have a Christmas season. We'll just wait till next year, I guess.
And then it doesn't come out till next year anyway. So
yeah, it gets delayed. It'll probably be what happens, yeah.
I wonder how understanding shareholders are when you tell them that you've had to delay because of GTA.
To be fair, if shareholders have heard of any video game, it's probably GTA 6. So that's the one where they're probably like, yeah, 10 years ago I was playing GTA 5 because it's been that long. They were probably, yeah.
When I was a kid, yeah.
Yeah, back in my day. Oh, man, yeah. But there were a few announcements at the Nintendo Direct. A few of them coming to Xbox and PC, which is nice to hear. Cameron, do you want to go through the list?
Yeah, I just realized. Oh no, that's right there. I missed it. Yeah, so we had Dragon Quest. Wait, 1 or 2?
Yeah, with the 1 and 2 HD remake, because the 3 HD remake already came out.
Yeah.
So they're doing a combined.
It had 2 HD 2D remake listed. But it's 1 and 2.
1
right?
and 2. It's both. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remake due for sometime in 2025. This looked gorgeous. Like I'm very keen on this one. This next one you probably know more about.
Righto. Yeah, it's Atlas.
Atlas,
It's sort of Shin Megami Tensei in that universe with Persona and Devil Trigger, Summoner, and Soul Hackers and all that kind of insane property that Atlas owns there. I never actually played it. It was a PlayStation 2 game from 2006. I never actually played it because I think it was kind of like outside of my wheelhouse in terms of I didn't become a proper weeb until much later. But yeah, it looks really, really interesting. Seems to have like a turn-based but some sort of like active battles, some stuff. Go check out the trailer for this. I don't know if I could explain it properly. Like if you haven't seen the game originally.
It looked 100% what I expect a Switch game to look like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's very, very stylized.
Yeah. Next up, there's Shadow Labyrinth, which is based on that one episode of. What was that series called again?
Which one? Secret Level?
Secret Level, yeah.
Yeah.
100% just the Pac-Man Secret Level.
Evil Pac-Man.
What is this Pac-Man about? I've never seen. What is Gritty Pac-Man title? It says.
It's basically it's like it looks like a Metroidvania. So they were like, Metroid or Symphony of the Night or something, 2D, going from place to place.
Side-scrolling. Oh, yeah.
Side-scrolling, kind of, unlock power-ups.
It literally is Pac-Man.
But it's just Pac-Man. They just, it's so weird. I don't know, this is just like that Winnie the Pooh movie.
Weird that I want to play it.
I want to play it. I definitely want to play it. It's coming out in July, so I'm like, yeah, sure.
So you have a shadow guy who has Pac-Man following around?
Yeah.
Is that kind of...
Yeah, so the idea is Pac-Man's like...
I'm sorry, I was going to say, have you watched The Secret Level?
No, I haven't watched any of them, actually. I'm going to go...
No, I haven't watched either, no.
No, I haven't seen
That's like probably up there along with the...
The Mega Man one?
What's the one with Keanu in it?
Oh, Armored Core.
Armored Core, yeah.
Yeah,
that's it. Those two are probably my favorites, just because of how weird the Secret Level episode is for Pac-Man.
Great.
But yeah.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that it came out, so I need to... I know it got another season as well, so I should watch it.
Yeah. You get armored Pac-Man as well. He wears a suit, like a Hulk suit for Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Great.
It'll be interesting to see how it gets received too.
I mean, probably badly. I don't think this is going to be a very good game. I'll tell you right now. I think this is going to be trash. But I've played worse games for the meme before, so.
This is 100% that meme, like "What's up, kids?"
Yeah.
Like in game format.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, Kia. What about you? You.
Look, I'm always into these kind of games, and as you guys would have heard, like before, I've been going back to some of these platforming games, the side scrollers that are anything that I can do with an arcade stick.
Oh, so, yeah, right.
Like, I like to see how these new games also play with an arcade stick, because you still got all the buttons. So like my old one is like a 360 one, right? So I've still got the X, A, B, and Y, and so just if it plays really well, I don't care. It looks fine. It looks good. So
yeah.
But yeah. So we'll see how it comes up though. So, because it looks like all the different things play a little bit differently, like the machines and mechs and all that kind of stuff that you get into.
Very curious. Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as it's balanced, so you can, not overstep your jumps and all that kind of business, right? So,
sure. I don't think it's going to be like a super hardcore, precise platformer, right? I think it looks like it'll be a slightly more casual, like ridiculous experience, which I'm all for. That's my kind of game.
Yeah.
Cameron?
Right. Witchbrook, which is coming to Game Pass day one, which is sometime in winter 2025.
Yeah, it looks cute.
It's co-op.
Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I saw on Twitter that it's a 4-player co-op.
I mean,
so
like Chucklefish do a lot of good stuff. So,
Spellblinding Life Sim has you begin a new life in the seaside city of Mossport, where you'll make new friends, find love, and discover a world filled with charm and wonder.
yeah, like it looks really beautiful. Like it's got that what was that game that I played? Sea of Stars kind of isometric sort of art style to it. Looks really nice. I don't know how much game is in there, but yeah.
I'll check it out.
You missed the Disney Villains one.
No,
Yeah, you
I'm
did
still
miss
going.
one as well. I was shocked.
I'm still going through the list.
All right, keep going.
No, there's one above it. Okay.
Wait, what do you mean? I've got Dragon
Villains
Quest,
Cursed Calf. Villains.
Rodu
Villains Cursed
Remastered,
Calf.
Shadow Labyrinth, Witchbrook. I'm in the T article
Oh,
right
okay,
now.
yeah.
Oh, right.
I'm in Windows Central.
Shadow Life of
Okay.
Goldman, which is
Yeah,
TH
kind of have a gold, man. It looks beautiful. I love the style.
I need to remind myself in this one.
Yes, the like hand drawn 2D.
Yeah.
Looks like a sort of Ghibli style. Well, not maybe
I thought
Ghibli's
it was
probably.
I thought it was like that.
It's like a
what's the
Disney
DS
cartoon,
game?
isn't
Yeah,
it?
it does. Like, yeah, exactly. Looks. I'm trying to. It's got the like almost Cuphead, but not quite that far back style to it.
Yeah. I wonder if the music's any good as well. Sometimes the music's quite good in these.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, I imagine it's probably going to be brutally difficult. To be honest, it looks quite.
Yeah. It actually looks amazing. Actually, some of the actual where the what do you call them? The areas I'm running around.
Yeah, like the environments and the sort of
detail.
backgrounds
The
and colors.
environments.
Yeah, it does look like a really interesting. It actually, Cuphead is probably not a bad comparison from it, but it's more actually, it looks more like Fantasia, like that era of Disney.
Yeah.
Cross the Princess Peach side-scrolling one about her emotions on the DS.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I haven't thought of that game in a while. Yeah.
Real fun.
There was a surprise launch today of Disney Villains Curse Cafe, which I was not expecting coffee talk with Disney Villains to be. As soon as I saw this today, though, I'm like, yes, I'm buying this 100% tomorrow.
Yeah, 100%. This looks
$20.
It looks great.
Oh, there's coffee talk as well. That's amazing.
It's $20. It's essentially coffee talk. I can sit my daughter in front of this and be like, "There's all the Disney villains."
Cameron, you're going to play this. Shut up. Come
on. Yeah, don't.
Listen, Lee, she's reading at the moment. I've got to teach it. If I get achievements at the same time, there's no issue.
Bonus, yeah.
You need to buy those golden books like Ghostbuster variants and stuff like that.
Man, I've got too many. Yeah, so there's like got Gaston, Captain Hawk, Jafar, Maleficent, Ursula. There's also Isma.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I was pretty keen on.
He's supposed to be dead. I fucking love that movie.
Oh, the lever!
Wrong lever. I'm not just gonna go. We're not just gonna do scene by scene first. But yeah, again, I don't know why this game exists, to be honest. But sure.
I'm glad it exists though.
Yeah.
I want to be pleasantly surprised with this game, so we'll see. King of Meat, which is apparently it was announced 7 months ago at Gamescom. It is a chaotic combat game.
Oh, okay.
No release date yet. I'm just gonna fly through the rest of these. There was a Gradius Origins game.
Yep. You feel like
that Konami revealed that's coming out August 7th. Monument Valley's been on Xbox, right?
No, it hasn't. It's never been on Xbox. It's always,
been on Xbox?
Yeah, I'm very excited for this because Monument Valley is fucking fantastic.
What am I thinking of then?
Are you thinking of like Bridge or whatever? Like that's the other Escher game that's similar to that. But Monument Valley is fantastic. Again, like if you don't know, it's a puzzle game. It's all about perspective. So the idea is you need to like turn the level to basically match up Escher style monuments to be able to walk stuff. So it's like, you know, if the bridges aren't connected from this angle, if I turn it to this angle, it kind of looks like they are, and if it looks like they are, then they are. And so you can kind of walk your guy across it and then remove the level around. Yeah, there have been other games that are kind of in a similar vein, but yeah, really.
Is it a bit like Lemmings, where the guy just keeps walking?
Sort of. There's some stuff where it's like you kind of tap where you want him to walk, again, like because it was a phone game, so it was like quite simple. Not a lot in terms of like fine motor control. But there's other like guys walking who can get in your way and that kind of stuff. So it's like there's a little bit of a timing aspect to it as well. The first one is like an all-time 10 out of 10. Like everyone needs to play it. Apparently the other ones are kind of not as good because there's only so much you can do with the idea. But having a collection has all three of them and is great. I definitely would probably pick that up assuming it's a good price.
Yeah, so the first and the second one comes out on April 15th, and the third one's apparently coming out this summer.
Oh, okay, cool. Great.
So what is the third one a port or is that a brand new game? That's the vibe. Like
brand new.
Yeah, it might be brand new actually, because I heard people talking about it.
Because those other two games were trapped on those other platforms. Like
it just says classic mobile puzzle titles. It doesn't really say.
Yeah.
All three games are coming to Xbox. It doesn't really say.
Great. I mean, you know, I'll play them all probably.
Past that, there was Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time.
Yeah, this is from Level 5, who are one of my favorite developers of all time. They're the ones who got me through some of the, you know, Dark Cloud and Dark Chronicle back on the PS2 days, and they also did the Ni no Kuni series. That was the one that they kind of got them really big. So they're bringing a game to Xbox for the first time, so I'm really excited for that. Looks great.
And then the other one was Marvel Cosmic Invasion,
which I don't know anything about, but looks fun.
It's the team behind TMNT Shredder's Revenge.
Oh, okay. So like a beat 'em up style.
Yeah, so co-op play.
Oh yeah, it's got the cutscenes are very similar.
Yeah, gotcha. Side scrolling, like okay, sweet. Very Marvel arcadey, sweet.
The only other game I want to talk about in the Direct that I saw was Patapon remasters.
Oh yes, we talked a bit about those. Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's not coming to Xbox, but it's coming to Switch, and I'm like, as soon as I learned about the series, I've been obsessed. So.
Yeah, right. Patapon's great.
It's so nice to have Patapon coming out. Also there was that Groove Rhythm. Rhythm Master? Groove?
Oh,
is it Rhythm Master the series?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh, okay.
It got like really popular with streamers like last year, and now they're making a remake coming out next year.
Oh,
so,
okay, great.
Not
on Xbox.
Not a remake, another. Yeah, not yet.
Be Switch only. Yeah. All right.
So that's it.
A couple of good games to look forward to. I'm really the Atlas one. I'm super keen on because it looks like it's one of those ones that like I just kind of missed in the PS2 era, and I like PS2 era games are some of my favorites because it's just that was the time when games were cheap enough to make but looked good enough and played well enough that you were like, what the fuck is this? Never heard of it. I'm just gonna fucking play it. Pick it up at what was it, Video Easy or whatever. Back in the day.
Hire it, loan it out for the week.
Yeah, exactly. Spend way too much on it.
Carl, Patapon is not coming to Xbox, but if you want, what was?
I can't remember what the spiritual successor was. I know what you're thinking of though.
There is a spiritual successor coming to Xbox. That looks absolutely fantastic. That is heavily inspired by Patapon.
It's Ratatan.
Yes, Ratatan. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Ratatan.
Yeah, if you want Patapon on Xbox, pre-order Ratatan. I'm not familiar with that one. Anyway, the other thing I want to talk about in the Nintendo Direct was towards the end they had something about virtual game cards. Which,
I was going to say, speaking of renting things from Video Easy, this is an interesting one. They have some sort of lending system that's kind of like similar to what the Xbox One was planning on doing way back in the day. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, so I guess to explain how it works is essentially you buy digital games. They're treated as virtual game cards. You then connect with a friend through a local network and then send that game onto them, to which they can borrow out your game for 2 weeks, but then the original owner of the game can retract at any time.
Has to be local network though.
I guess to prove that you're not just sending it to every Tom, Dick, and Harry who's
random people.
So if you set up a Hamachi
VPN.
Yeah, VPN.
VPN, yeah.
You could just exactly. I guess I could get some ideas here.
Symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're a family that owns a few Switches, then instead of having to buy multiple copies, you could just lend them out in between each other.
I mean, like the Steam family thing is kind of similar to this, right? I saw a lot of someone on Twitter was complaining that their polycule was breaking apart because they only had one copy of Blatchro in their Steam family, and they were all fighting over it. And so like I don't know, like I guess I can see like it's an interesting idea, the idea of being like be able to send your game to someone else for a bit. I'm trying to figure out why though. Like what's the
I'll read through the Verge article a bit. So, virtual game cards also make sharing games between consoles simpler. Using a local Wi-Fi connection, you can use virtual game cards to transfer digital games between Switch 1 and Switch 2 consoles. Perhaps the most interesting aspect of this feature is that now you'll be able to lend games to members of your Nintendo Switch family account. You can lend out one game per person and only for 2 weeks, but it's still very neat that Nintendo has replicated the spirit of renting video games from Blockbuster. I think it's just a consumer-friendly move. Like, I can't imagine there's that many duplicate sales when Nintendo has so many first-party titles that are solo.
Sure, not online, single playthrough.
Yeah, I do think this is a consumer-friendly move in terms of like, all right, what's something else that we can entice them to move to digital? Because Nintendo still has a very large physical media. I'd be interested to see how much Switch users have like a digital footprint compared to Xbox and PlayStation users.
I think you hit the nail on the head though, isn't it? It's digital people. That's what they're aiming at.
Yeah.
Because most people buy the cartridge still and then lend it around their mates. So they're trying to get away from that.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Giving them the 100% of reason is like, all right, we don't want you to be restricted if that's a roadblock for you.
Yeah. And then you'll get the percentage of people that'll be like, okay, well, I don't have access to it anymore. I'll just buy it.
It's weird, though, for Nintendo to be doing a pro-consumer move.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like...
Do you think, though, they'll go, you'll use it for 2 weeks, then buy it anyway? Is that the kind of...
I guess that's the idea, is that, like...
What I was thinking.
How many people, especially, like, this is probably going to be used a lot by kids and families, right? And so it'll be the thing where it's like, oh, someone comes to visit, they hop on they're on your Wi-Fi network, you got family over or whatever, and they want to use their Switch. You can send them a game for them to play to leave you the fuck alone, And then 2 weeks later, they're like, oh, they go bother their parent to go buy it because they really enjoy the game. I mean, like obviously not for like people, people like us who are like blitz through a game in a week and we're done with it. Like that's perfect. I'd love that. But
so, two biggest games that come to mind are Smash and Mario Kart. You lend somebody Mario Kart, they play for a week, they're hooked. Well, I'll just go and pick up my own copy. Like,
I guess so, but I think the thing is with those games is because those games are multiplayer, and because the person who lends the game can't use it, it would have to be a scenario where it's someone who doesn't want to play Mario Kart but owns it, giving it to someone who would play it. Whereas, like, normally you'd be like, oh, hey, do you want to play Mario Kart with me because I own it? Pick up a copy yourself. But I think it's more along the lines of something. Yep, but I think you're right. Like, I think there is definitely a market there.
Yeah, I think they've had some instance stuff like that before where if you did play something like Mario Kart, you could download the track that you're playing.
Yeah, you could do that on the DS back in the day when that first came out. I remember that was the sharing thing where it's like one person could have it and 4 people could play it, which is crazy.
So they've done a similar thing before.
Now, the funny thing about this is I thought about a loophole.
Oh, here we go. You sure you want to say this on a recorded platform?
Yeah, that's fine. It's the Xbox games that are on... I mean, like Achievement Hunters, we could share Minecraft.
We could.
It just has to be a local area network.
That's true. Well, okay, yeah, that's true.
Bring your Switch to any of your gaming meetups.
Achievement Fest is just going to have a bunch of people with Switches now. One person owns Minecraft and they pass it around for a bit.
100%.
That's really funny. Yeah, okay. That's an interesting idea.
I
I
want the meme to happen. Make it happen, Americans.
I'm very curious to see if any kind of other if this becomes like a thing with a capital T, like in terms of like other becomes really popular and becomes one of those consumer things like crossplay did and like
well, split fiction, stuff like that.
yeah, right, where you have like passes and stuff where it's like the co-op game and kind of comes back and yeah, who knows? I don't know. I think it's an interesting idea. I don't know if it'll have legs and I don't know how long they'll support it for, but it's an interesting idea.
I'm just trying to think if there's any downsides to it.
For the consumer, not really. Doesn't sound like
Not
it.
really, because it's like try and buy, essentially.
Yeah, it's basically
It's
instead of
another
doing
way to
demos, you
come.
just give people a 2-week trial. And because I mean, buying like, and also Nintendo games don't go on sale, so that's the other bit, right? Is that like their first party stuff is always very expensive. So I think giving people an incentive to try something, you know, if someone wants to try Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey or something, it's a lot easier for them to just give them the game for a few weeks so they can play it for a bit.
If you leave the Wi-Fi, does it stop working, or do you have to stay next to the same?
No, I get. I bet once you've transferred it, I think you're good.
Yeah, it's just that initial transfer, and then you got the 2-week period, unless the original person retracts it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I mean it's working between the Switch 1 and 2. I'm interested if they're. Does this more so confirm that Switch 2 game like?
I was about to. Is Switch 2 coming out? When is it coming out? Has it been announced yet? Or-
Yeah, they showed it off.
April 2nd.
They showed like a non-trailer for it that just showed the device, but they're actually they're doing some chatting around it.
Is there any dates? There's no dates yet. Though.
Next month they're doing a 23rd.
April 2nd is the.
Oh,
is
April
the
2nd.
Switch 2
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. They're doing like a big Switch reveal, so I guess we'll get a deep dive in it in a week or two.
Like next week.
Yeah, next week. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they also announced an app during the showcase for people to get their dedicated news.
Ah, I see.
There was a few marketing bits in that direct.
Kirby has the idea of lending someone your game for a single achievement, taking it back so you can boost your TA ratio. That's
like it.
that sounds about right. Yeah, that's yeah. I think it might even be better if they're one achievement away from finishing it, Kirby, and you just take it away from them. That might hurt.
I love that he called it bait and switch.
Bait and switch.
Bait and switch. No, yeah. Kirby used to come up with titles for Real Gamer Score as well. You know, so he's man's a bit of a wordsmith as well.
Bait and switch is 100% this episode title.
Yeah, but it'll be Bait and Switch 2, I think is what I'm going to call it.
Yeah, thank you. I don't think there's anything much more to say about. Like, I'm curious if this makes Xbox explore.
I mean, yeah, like you said earlier, pre-show, that this was the kind of thing that they had talked about doing some sharing programs back when the Xbox One was originally released, when they were doing like DRM locked games, so the used game market was going to disappear, and it was all like very ahead of its time and kind of interesting, and everyone hated it obviously because the idea of used games going away is bad. And I still agree with that, even if I haven't bought a disc game in 5 years.
Well, I mean, have a think about if it was a local feature, like native to say the game or something like that, and the game got delisted, that would open up potential for people to kind of go to events and just go like, local meetups and
That's
stuff
an interesting
like that.
one. Yeah, it's a good point.
This game doesn't exist anymore here. You have to go to YouTube to see any videos on it, right? So, but you can actually play the game if you have somebody that has the game that it's delisted. So
That's an interesting point, because there was the Super Mario Superstars or whatever it was, that collection with Sunshine.
Yeah, and they you could only buy it for a couple of months or whatever, and then they just took it down. They were just like, but they told you, they were like, it's a timed game where you got the 3 games. Yeah. Like 64 Sunshine and Galaxy.
Odyssey, right?
I was thinking, sorry, Galaxy, Odyssey, and Sunshine. I think it was. Yeah.
No, 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be interesting when it comes to delisted games, being able to just rent out some.
Yeah, because then you'd be renting for money, right?
I would say, that's where
this game.
That's where it's going
you gotta give me
They're definitely going to have it
$100.
in a T's and C's that you can't technically charge for it, because that'll be a whole thing.
Yeah.
And knowing Xbox, that'll probably mean that you can't get achievements if you play it on a borrowed version, because they're dicks.
What's to stop us making our own blockbuster with
with blackjack and hookers? Yeah, I'll get right on Last story here. There isn't much to say here, but apparently Warner Brothers has cancelled their Hogwarts Legacy like definitive edition game with a bunch of the big DLC pack they've been working on. I don't know what the fuck Warner Brothers are doing.
What
these
are
days.
they playing at? Yeah, they're going to bring out a new live version of it or something, are they?
Yeah, something. I don't know.
I don't get it though when it's like one of the biggest, like one of the best selling games.
It's
no, it was the biggest selling game last year, wasn't it?
I think the year before, but still, even then, it's still. I think it's still sold gangbusters last year too. Like,
yeah, it's top 10 or something. Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, but I think it's just like they're just like, hey, we need a really big win. We're gonna do a sequel, and that's like I think this is all just like they're gonna put all the content in the sequel, make sure it comes out on Switch too, because I don't know. It does seem weird that they've been. Because originally it was like, hey, we're not doing DLC for this game at all. And they were very clear about that when it came out. And then they were like, oh, no, just JK, we're doing a definitive edition. We're re-releasing the game. It's going to have DLC. And now it's like, no, actually, no, we're not doing DLC. The whole definitive edition thing's not happening. Like, I don't know. It wasn't like, publicly announced in terms of like them doing it. But like, it had leaked. People knew about it.
Everyone knew.
Yeah, it was super. Yeah,
do you think they're in big trouble? Or they're just kind of closing shop almost. Having real issues, aren't they?
I mean, Warner Brothers in general are in huge financial issues in terms of like where they're at for all of their properties, both in the video game space.
Because Discovery here, New Zealand's having real issues, aren't they?
Yeah. It's they're there. I mean, and obviously because I mean, what has Warner Brothers got these like again? They multiverses are shutting down. Suicide Squad was a huge flop. They canceled that big Monolith Wonder Woman game that cost them like $100 million.
Yeah.
Like, all they've got left at the moment is, I don't know.
They shut down Mordor gang, haven't they? The team.
Yeah, Monolith. Yeah, they're gone too. Yeah. They canceled the game and then shut down the studio straight afterwards. So it was like they're done. And it's
didn't even try to sell them.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's
weird. The whole thing was weird. The way they did that was really odd.
Very strange. So they're in dire straits, I think. And like you think of like Mortal Kombat 1, for example, like no one talked about that game. That game did not get any Game of the Year nods when it came out.
I think it was fine.
It was okay.
Special, was it?
I played through it. Like I picked it up. I played it earlier this year when it was on a big sale, and it was a fine game. But like it was not nearly as good as like our 10 or 11 were. And so, yeah, it's just a question of like, okay, well, what's we haven't heard anything about like a new Injustice or anything like that. I don't know. It's they're in a bit of a weird spot, and then also the movie side of stuff is kind of also not looking great either. With the whole like Wile E. Coyote versus Acme kind of.
Oh,
yeah.
Did you see the update on that?
Yes,
apparently
they sold it.
Yeah, they're selling it. Yeah.
Yeah, for like $50 million or something. Yeah, it's Yeah.
I've been praying for that movie to see the light of day.
Yeah, it looks
for
great.
like the last years. I'm excited for that movie, and I was so gutted to hear that
they just shelved it for no reason, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think Warner Brothers, like, who are they owned by these days? Is it AT&T who owns them now, or is it? I don't even remember at this point. But I know that the last I heard, like, they had a huge write-off in terms of like the amount of money that they're just throwing into a hole. But
they wrote off like $9 billion last year because their TV assets weren't worth as much as what they thought.
Yeah. So it's like the Warner Brothers are in big trouble, and so who knows? Maybe Microsoft has a few spare dollars and they might want to get some new IP. Who knows? They're becoming third party now too, so maybe they want to. I mean, that was always the thing, is that like the rumor was that like Mortal Kombat, like NetherRealm was going to get acquired by Microsoft because Warner Brothers needed the money and Microsoft wanted to kind of boost their fighting game and that kind of space. Now that what's the Killer Instinct is kind of like, they haven't had anything in that space for a long time, and Tekken is obviously doing very well, and so is Street Fighter 6. So like there is a market for there's a big market for fighting games, but it's just kind of, I guess, trying to get that mass market appeal. All right.
Disappointing, isn't it? Really?
It is really disappointing. Yeah. Because
there's lots of really good IP there.
Well, yeah, like the Nemesis system, just to name one, right? In terms of like the stuff they did with Mordor and all that kind of stuff. I still have Shadow of War to play. I've never actually gotten around to. I enjoyed. I started it,
but I finished the first one and then restarted the second one, and it was too similar.
Yeah,
I was like, no, I need a break.
That was me too. Where I was like, I did the 360 version and the Xbox One version of Shadow of Mordor, and I was like, cool, let's get into Shadow of War, and I was like, I don't know if I can. And it's like they were like, yeah, it's like 5 times bigger, and I'm like, oh Christ, I don't know if I can do 5 times bigger, man. That's a lot.
I mean, we were having a discussion in the party the other day about that potential Batman, the cancelled project.
Yeah, well,
like a Batman game with the Nemesis system would be sick.
Well, there is
a new Batman coming out, isn't there? There's a rumor of a new Batman coming out.
There's a rumor
today.
Yeah, so apparently Rocksteady or WB Montreal, the ones who did Gotham Knights, might be working on a new Batman game. But rumors upon rumors, it might be Batman Beyond or Batman, like the future Batman one which again would be amazing because there was that concept art that was shown a little while ago for a Batman Beyond movie. That someone I think one of the main artists leaked. Again, this is me huffing the copium because like
it's all kind of PlayStation 6 next Xbox, isn't it? So it's so far away.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because again, we're only potentially 2 years away from the next generation coming out, so there's no point developing for this gen. Yeah. So but is Warner Brothers even going to be around in 2 years?
Yeah. Exactly. Well, the last thing they did was that Batman VR one that just came out not too long ago.
Yeah, apparently it was really good. Won a lot of awards, so there's obviously an appetite for it.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want Batman?
Yeah. Batman's it makes you feel like Batman, Oh man, that's my favorite. Yeah, I don't know. And then I guess there was this Ubisoft thing. I don't have too many details about it because it only just happened today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did drop a story in about it.
Yeah, sorry, I can't pull it up on mine because I'm using the Discord window. So can someone else grab that?
Oh, that's right.
What was it?
Oh, yeah. So it says Assassin's Creed makers carves out 4 billion unit for Tencent, which I find very interesting wordage.
Yeah. What does that mean?
So what does that mean? Exactly. What does that mean? Have they given them $4 billion and said, here, go make more stuff? Or have they got paid for licensing or something?
I guess so. Apparently they've made a subsidiary that has ownership of a bunch of their highest performing IP. And so it's
oh, here we go. So
yeah,
1.6 billion euros invest to acquire 25% stake in the EU entity, which hold licenses to the intellectual property for exchange for royalties. Okay. So they're going to make the games for them and pay them some money. Royalties.
Yeah, so I guess the idea is because Ubisoft didn't want to lose control of, Yves Guillemot and their family didn't want to lose control of their whole...
they're renting out the IP.
Yeah, they're basically creating a new entity that owns the IP and then selling off parts of that IP, but not Ubisoft itself. Which means that Ubisoft becomes basically an overhead company for it. So it becomes a subsidiary. It's kind of a weird system, but I mean, I guess everyone was talking about how Tencent was just going to acquire Ubisoft in one way or another. So I don't know.
We were talking about that yesterday on the podcast, weirdly enough. How they're going to get Ubisoft at some point because they're struggling.
Yeah, some weird stuff. Because don't they have the British rights to the Activision Xbox stuff as well?
That's true. The cloud stuff.
For streaming.
Yeah, the cloud streaming.
The cloud stuff. So Ubisoft are they have their plate. They've got a lot of plates in a lot of different.
Yeah, but they keep dropping them. I think is the problem, right? If we talk about what Ubisoft have. Assassin's Creed Shadows apparently did very well, so that's good.
Did it though?
Apparently.
So if you have Ubisoft Plus, it says you've got the game if you've got Ubisoft Plus.
Sure,
that's what the people are saying.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean you've played it. That just means that you've got the Ubisoft subscription.
That's true. But to be fair, how many people actually
paid for it? Fastest selling game? Assassin's Creed game on Steam though.
It was the fastest selling Assassin's Creed games, but. Besides Valhalla, which was a launch title for the console, so which kind of is a little bit different. But so it obviously did. It's doing very well to start with, I think. Whether it has the long tail and can actually, and also whether it even makes a difference for Ubisoft, another question, right? I'm glad that it did well. I'll finish up my thoughts about it when we talk about what we've been playing because I finished it up there. But it is really interesting to kind of see okay, so they've got Assassin's Creed going well for them. They've done nothing with the Crew Motorfest, or the Crew, that's kind of they brought that out and it was fine, but didn't really go anywhere. Siege obviously is doing well, but Extraction and that's kind of Siege is kind of its own thing.
Siege X is coming out though. Siege X is coming out.
There's
a new Siege coming out.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see if that kind of has that same appeal. Beyond Good and Evil 2 doesn't exist as vaporware. There was rumors of a new Rayman happening, which again we don't know what's happening with there. They don't do anything with Rabbids at the moment.
Watch Dogs is dead.
Watch Dogs is like super dead because 3 did really badly. We're playing through Ghost Recon at the moment, and it doesn't deserve a sequel.
Far Cry.
Far Cry 6 also didn't do amazingly. Also got relatively middling reviews.
I mean, like, what are they doing? They're doing Far Cry 7, though. They're doing the multiplayer one, apparently.
Yeah.
But when? Like, they only just announced that, didn't they? This year, maybe? In the last year?
Pretty much, yeah. They shut down the team doing the Prince of Persia game. They do have Prince of Persia Rogue happening, but that's a different outfit who are actually licensing it.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, the Avatar game apparently didn't sell super well either, so they're not doing a sequel, as far as we can tell. It's... Yeah.
No fun
about Don't forget Star Wars.
I did completely forget about Star Wars because that was a huge fucking bomb for them.
So the other thing I was going to say is I told Matt yesterday, but Assassin's Creed Shadows sold more physical UK copies in 1 week than Outlaws did in 3 months.
Yeah, and like,
Jesus,
I think Outlaws is a better game. To be honest, I enjoyed Outlaws a lot.
But was it good at the beginning though? I don't think it was very good at the beginning.
It was not. They definitely put a lot of work into it to make it playable for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that I played it later. But yeah, Ubisoft are obviously in a very weird spot, and this kind of move is, I don't know, it's very desperate. It feels very desperate. The idea of like taking off your best performing IP and just pushing it onto a subsidiary and then selling ownership parts of that just feels like you're just grabbing at straws, trying to be like, whatever we can get working, we'll get working. I don't know.
They don't want to lose control of it though.
No, they just refuse to lose control of the overall. But I guess
didn't Tencent do the same for buying out somebody else? Didn't they buy a little bit of it and then slowly kind of take over?
They don't. Tencent do this all the time.
They do this with all kinds of companies. I think they did part of that with Embracer as well, right? I think it was part of it.
Was Embracer? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They kind of ended up with 49% and then ticked over and bought the rest of it almost.
Well, it's all kind of like that was kind of their whole thing was like Tencent was just investing. It was like that and the Saudis were the two who were like big investing into the game space outside
until the Saudis got bored and then pulled out and then broke
Embracer. Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
But then again, also that Saudi fund basically just paid for all of Niantic and just bought Pokemon Go and all that kind of stuff as well the other week. So who knows?
Change focus. Okay, so
yeah,
mobile
seems to be the way they want to go. Yeah.
I mean, Tencent's got like, shit everywhere. Like
all over the place.
Yeah,
that's insane. Yeah.
Epic was a big one. I remember that too. Yeah.
Paradox goes on.
Yeah, I mean, again, like they don't tend to own large bits of anything, but they own a lot of small pieces of pretty much everything.
I mean, there's a few though that they wholly own.
Oh, sure.
Like Riot Games.
Yeah, right. For example, yeah.
How would it work then with them? If so, the next AC comes out, would they get another studio to make it, or
probably? I would assume they would probably get, or they'd do a collaboration maybe, and maybe Tencent stumps up some of the money for that to cover the initial cost. Again,
the studio, yeah,
because then they get like 25% or whatever cut is of the profit of that game. Because if the game's big enough and they can make it for cheap enough, then
and if they can not focus on studios so much, but have creative aspects like groups that control the creative aspects that get pushed onto the third-party companies, so they can control that, but they're not making the game, then they're probably in a better position.
So would it be cheaper to make it in China than to make it in
Well, that's what I was going to say. Exactly.
France?
Like you can get cheaper labor potentially over there to make those games. How much cheaper and what the quality level is going to be is a big point of discussion.
What was that massive Chinese game that came out?
Black Myth Wukong. I was just about to say, obviously that was a huge success for them, and like crazy popular. Still didn't come to Xbox, so just going to remind Cameron that prediction was still waiting. Maybe it's this year's Game Awards.
Which game is this?
Black Myth Wukong, the one you said was 100% going to get announced for Xbox. I'm pretty sure you said it like 5 times on the show.
We recorded it and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I am surprised it hasn't moved over yet, but.
Xbox needs to stop hitting themselves with the heavy hitters. They need to just make shit happen.
Yeah, that's true.
It might just be 12 months though, because when was it out? Middle of last year, wasn't it? It might come out.
Yeah, I think it was July. Was it? In July.
It was sometime point last.
It was kind of before the big gaming rush. I remember that much.
It was 20th of August.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got time.
Yeah. Okay.
12 months.
Man, that feels so much longer to me.
It does.
I swear that was like in the first 6 months of the year.
Yeah,
But,
last year was an interesting one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the news. So like nothing major. I mean, outside of Ubisoft basically potentially maybe imploding, but very slowly. I guess we'll.
Continuing
They've
to
been doing that
implode,
for
I'd
a while
say.
now.
To be fair,
Continuing
that's
to
not
implode.
news. That's just their state of being. Cameron, actually, Keo, do you want to go through the Game Pass stuff?
Right. So, Game Pass updates. Wait, hang on.
They're a little out of date. Apologies. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. I was looking at the wrong thing there. Yeah, for sure. All right. So we have joining Game Pass available today. 33 Immortals, Game Pass Ultimate PC and Cloud. March 19th will be Octopath Traveler 2, Game Pass Standard, as well as Train Sim World 5 on Game Pass Standard. March 20th is Mythwrecked, so that's coming to everything.
Yeah, I just downloaded that. Actually, I'm probably going to give that a go.
Yeah. And March 25th is the Blizzard Arcade Collection. So a lot of this stuff is already out.
Yeah, little stuff. Yeah.
By the time that So and March 26th is Tunic, Batman Arkham Knight, and Monster Sanctuary into Game Pass Core. So. In terms of leaving.
Oh, and then we just had Adam 4 come out today.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
which I will remind you is not Fallout.
It's not Fallout. No, it's made by Rebellion, which is interesting. So I'm kind of.
It's not the London mod.
It's not
Sniper.
Fallout.
Sniper.
And you
Sniper
can
Elite,
drink tea in the pen.
Apparently, all right. I mean,
You can drink tea. There is a tea mode, isn't there?
Yeah. There is like.
There is. That's the whole thing.
That's pretty funny. Okay. I am actually somewhat interested in it. It looks like a relatively like.
It's 25 hours supposedly to complete as well.
Yeah,
so it's
great.
not massive, which is great.
Which is
I'm
like,
interested, but I have been burned by Rebellion.
Yeah,
recently,
Rebellion.
so.
Yeah, I'm also not convinced they're not going to bring out a shitload of DLC for it and just kind of milk you for all you're worth because they love doing that too.
Yeah. Games leaving.
Leaving, we've still got Yakuza 0, Kiwami 2, Like a Dragon, Monster Hunter Rise is on its way out as well, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, which has just become available to play if you own the game in your collection through cloud as well, so that's just been added to that. MLB The Show 24, Little Gator Game, Open Roads, and Lamplighters League.
It does seem like as games are leaving Game Pass, they're trying to add more of them to the cloud streaming service. Because like obviously the new ones get added immediately pretty much, but like the older ones that have been in there for a year, I guess they've been like, well, now's the time.
Yeah, they really need to get as much of that stuff in there as possible.
Which I guess makes sense, right? Because they've already got the game working for streaming on Game Pass, so you might as well just keep it on there.
Exactly, right. Which is why all the Ubisoft stuff is still there, you know?
Yeah.
So, and there is that thing with the Ubisoft, you know how Assassin's Creed Shadows has the hub where you go into the game and you have the different
the Animus hub.
Yeah, related to the streaming stuff, you can actually, in a new update, switch between the game without leaving the game.
Yeah, I saw that actually. I was kind of confused because it lets you like flick through the years to see like kind of the old games.
Yeah.
But only a few
my
of them.
experience with accepting invites in Tom Clancy's Wildlands, Ghost Recon, when I was in the game, I was worried it came up like it was trying to launch the game again, but when I clicked play to accept the invite, it actually just accepted the invite. The game.
Okay.
So it's like it's acting like the game is already open. So maybe they're just doing that. So.
All right.
I was just going to point out, Kirby said in the chat, Sniper Elite Resistance already got DLC. It got DLC day one.
It got DLC? Well, yeah, of course it did.
Day one, they did a Kill Hitler.
Oh, yeah, they
DLC.
always do that, though, so I guess that, yeah. Man, that Hitler guy, he's died a lot.
I am curious, Kirby, did you purchase Yakuza? I assume you did.
Yeah, he owns it.
Or did you complete it before it left Game Pass?
I'm pretty sure he owns all the Yakuzas, actually.
I imagine, yeah.
And then we've got...
They're on sale now, aren't they, currently?
Yes, yeah, a lot of them are on sale at the moment, or they were last week at least. So yeah, go grab them. They're great games. Apparently, I just don't have I just do not have the time.
They've been much cheaper. Like
That's true.
I do want to play the pirate one.
$3 or $4.
Yeah, pirate one looks really good, and I do want to probably play Like a Dragon and Infinite Wealth, like those. I prefer the RPG side of things as opposed to the kind of more brawlery side. But we've also got a Patreon, patreon.com/HallOfGamers if you want to help support the show. Every dollar goes straight back into things like the Word Challenge and paying for hosting and all that kind of stuff. So a huge thank you to Lee Howard, our wonderful guest today. Mikhail KV, Nicole Landed, Mad Lefty, Admiral Awesome, Happy Moogles, Kung Fu Skills, Hack and Pone, Cavalier 07, Old Mate Cloud, Mace J, Left for Legacy, and McNulty. I try to say them fast so you don't have to hit the forward button too much on your Spotify to skip past this bit. But if you do want to help support the show, any kind of extra content that we do, we are thinking about doing some more Lights, Camera, and Action. Minecraft movies coming out. We do want to get to Sonic 3. There's a few other things we want to talk about, video game movie related. So we are going to try and get back on the horse and getting some of those movie related content out there.
Can we do one for Lilo and Stitch? I really want to.
No, we're not doing one for Lilo. Lilo and Stitch is not a fucking video game.
Are you sure?
No, I'm going to make you watch like Monster Hunter or something. So just you watch yourself.
Monster Hunter.
Oh, geez,
I'll watch Monster Hunter if it means I get Lilo and
We're
Stitch.
fucking Mila Jovovich. Apparently the movie is awful.
It's terrible.
I've seen
Lilo and Stitch Travel in Paradise. There we go. It's covered.
Jesus Christ.
It's forgettable.
We've also got our monthly theme, which is every 2 months, our bimestral burden, which is through March and April, is Bring Out Your Dead. So complete your games that feature the undead, zombies, ghosts, vampires, and other spookies. And as we discussed with Jake last week, other spookies does not include demons. Demons do not count. If Turn Undead does not work on them, they are not... Well, okay, Turn Undead also doesn't work on liches, but I'm not, you get what I mean. They have to be undead. They either have to have been dead or be mostly dead or brought back from the dead, either in a spirit form.
If you kill the demon and then it comes back again, does that count?
If it comes back as a ghost, yes.
I'm noticing a trend here. So Doom 2016 wasn't this included for the first 2 months. Apparently that doesn't count.
Well, it wasn't counted.
Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal counts for this month. They have zombies, so Doom I will give you that because they do actually have the archfiends actually create zombies. So there is, and they are called zombies in the game, and they are humans who have been turned into them. So I think it's okay. But if it was only the dudes with the trumpets, they don't count.
I need something. I need the next 2 months to match the Dark Ages.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get another Doom game going for it. Sure. Yeah, something with shields maybe.
Yeah. And XboxCast have their own competition. Well, not
you've got some events going over at XboxCast. So what's coming up?
Which starts on the 1st. We have the April Achievement Challenge. The infamous, the famous, I guess you'd say, April Challenge. We're on like about our 6th year or 5th year now. It's insane. It basically, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do. I'll bring up the website so it's easier to remember things. On our website, the XboxCast.co.nz, there is an event calendar and there's information. So basically what you do is there's a bunch of ways you can collect points. I'm going to drink so I don't remember. Right, so you go achievements. You get lots of achievements. Play all the baby games, which is what I did last year. I got like 110,000 or something in a month.
Insane.
It was nuts. Yeah, it was real fun because I went from 180 to 300,000 in 1 month.
Oh man, it really is the steroids of video games, isn't it? You just
because I was top of your charts.
Yes, exactly.
Ratio, schmatio.
Yeah, exactly.
I was top of your charts for like weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Just being like, who the fuck is this Lee Howard guy?
Lee Howard, 30k a week. What's going on?
1 year later, here he is. This is who was on the top of our charts.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I'm going to try and get 400 this year, maybe, because I think there's been lots of updates to games.
Yes, they have.
And I haven't done any of them on purpose, so I'm going to go and check and see what I played last year and see what I can just smash out 5Ks on. TA ratio as well. So that's literally TA ratio. So the higher ratio, there's everyone get a better higher ratio, get more points for the ratio. There's also steps because we thought you should go outside and touch grass. So you do steps. Like Cameron's interested in doing the steps this year.
I did that and then I got prickles, and I blame you.
Mate, just wear shoes. Literally, I know you're a bogan.
Don't go out. Yeah,
Aussie grass, mate.
You don't go out in your socks, right?
Yeah,
the prickles stick to that.
The touch grass thing is not literal. You don't have to just, Oh, mate.
He's Aussie. He's an Aussie.
He is. Right? Yeah, he's an Aussie who lives in the middle of nowhere, so he doesn't have a lot of choice. His
I've actually walked the achievement challenge for the Aussie team because I want to do weight loss steps and achievements.
That's good. Yeah.
And weight loss, I'm already 20 kilos for a year, so
that's pretty good.
Doing pretty good.
You're doing very well. Yeah. Also, talking about so basically the teams as well. So we have Aussie, US, New Zealand, maybe UK, Keo. Keo's
No,
a special team.
Me, yeah, just me, New Zealand. Just
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so basically you get all the points together, and then you get kind of then obviously that year of that country will win. Yeah, that's kind of it.
yeah, looking forward to it.
Register. Go to our website. Go to our website and register if you want to get involved. Because Simone does quite a good job of doing daily updates on who's got the most points, who's got the most steps.
They're really good.
They are good
Like
write-ups.
every day. So
Yeah, for sure. There is a few rules. You're not allowed to use console commands. Carl does not like console commands.
So if you're going to do Lonely Outpost, get it done now.
Get it done now. Yeah, I did one last week. Well, I did one last week. Maybe it was Lonely Outpost.
Yeah,
I
Lonely
just
Outpost,
done the console command. Yeah, I did that because I knew Carl would complain at me. And I'm trying to get closer to 400,000, so I'll do a quick 1,000, 10 seconds or whatever it was.
So it was that and Slayer X, wasn't it?
Slayer X also got console commands in there, yeah, which was annoying because I've already done it, but it was a fine enough game.
There's a whole the rules got created for me because when I first I did console commands.
Yeah, right.
And they got really grumpy and they're like, "Oh, we need to make a rule next year so Lee doesn't do console commands." So that's how it's been working. These commands. I'm quite impressed. I have rules.
So no baby game rule this year.
I was gonna say. So got to be above a 1.5 ratio.
Yeah, no, not.
So my goal with
Be
this year
hard-pressed.
is clear backlog that is like decent indie games.
Yeah, I don't. I'm looking at my backlog. I don't think I have any decent indie games anymore. I think most of the decent ones I played already.
All right. Have you played Cult of the Lamb?
I don't own Cult of the Lamb.
Have you played Dredge?
Yes, I have played Dredge. I did Dredge.
Oh, you did Dredge? What else is there? I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. 2 indie games. All right, we're off to a good
I've
start.
got like 20, 30 games that I'm just planning to work through.
All right.
Plenty of Game Pass fodder.
But yes, I'm very excited. It'll be good fun. I always try to. That is, you can see it on my TA chart. You always see when April comes around, and you just see my score just skyrocket because I play absolute trash.
It's insane. Mine's basically flat. 100k flat. That was my whole thing last year. Because I think once I've done like a month's worth of gaming that much, you're like, I need a break.
Yeah, I need to play some real stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
So also we've hit our 450th episode.
Jesus.
Which was actually this week, but we're lying and saying it's next week.
Okay, right, yeah.
So this week was the beta, so next week's the actual.
Oh, yeah, okay, you're doing early access.
It's
okay.
early access. If there is
no achievements yet. You gotta still some bugs to work out.
Right?
It's RC1, all that.
Yeah.
The reason.
I was going to say, a podcast that has been going for 450 episodes should not be in early access.
We're still practicing. We're like Gmail. We're like the Gmail.
Yeah, exactly.
Podcast,
yeah, it's always in beta. Had the beta symbol forever, like 10 years.
It's like 10 years. Yeah.
It's crazy.
So it's actually Microsoft's 50th anniversary next week. April 4th, I think it is.
Yeah.
So we decided to do top 50 Xbox games ever.
Ooh, I love that idea.
Yeah. So we're going to get... So how it works is actually on our website. You go there, there's a little link, and you can go and vote on the games. I've got about 70-odd games to pick from. Pick your top 10, and each one will go... Like, first gets 10 points, second's 9 points, all the way down to 1. And then I'll collate it, and then for Wednesday, we're going to do a whole countdown from 50, basically.
Number 50.
And 50, exactly. So we do the charts every week. So we're going to extend the charts to like a whole
it's charts is everyone's favorite part of the show.
Exactly. So they're going to get the whole charts. Like, that's the little charts. This is the proper charts. This
Beautiful.
is like,
I love it.
yeah, so it's real funny.
Oh, that's great.
Trust
We've
me.
already got 48. And it was all my idea. Yeah, it was all my idea as well. I came up with the whole thing. So, yep, I accept responsibility. But go to the XboxCast.co.nz and pick 10 games, top 10 games that you played. And it's from the beginning of Xbox time, basically.
Great. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go and do that.
Yeah, it's real fun. So just tune in and...
Speaking of lots of games, let's get into what we've been playing. I have 2 quick ones, and then I'll go into my other ones later, but maybe 3 quick ones. Finished up Assassin's Creed Shadows. Got number 6th completion on TA, which I was pretty happy about. Wasn't really going for that. I wanted to just finish it before I left my Ubisoft Plus subscription. My thoughts haven't really changed, having done all the content in it. It's like a 6 out of 10, maybe 6.5 if you're going to go down to the 0.5s. I think I think it's serviceable. I think the game's playable. It doesn't have too many bugs. It looks nice, plays okay. The combat is bad. Story is bad. The Nawe stuff is like, it feels very like, I like some of the Nawe stuff, but the Yasuke stuff is kind of like, doesn't really seem to fit into the game very well. Anyway, go listen to my stuff last week. My thoughts haven't really changed, but I did get it done. So I was thinking about firing up Odyssey because that is the other big Assassin's Creed that I own that I need to do. So we'll see. Never doing Valhalla. That's where I'm drawing the line.
I want to ask.
It's boring. It's boring, Valhalla.
Yeah.
With AC Shadows, do you think the delays were justified because the game has less bugs? Or
I mean, I think
I've heard it's still janky though, isn't it? It's still a bit janky.
A little bit. Like it is so Assassin's Creed like that. Like Assassin's Creed Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, like it is that same game. They've just essentially reskinned it. There is some like quality of life stuff in there that's quite nice, but it is like there is so little change to the overall gameplay model that it has. Again, it's the same engine, and it is a little bit janky, especially in the. You spend a lot of time in the countryside in terms of like in the forests, and like I found a lot where it's like you're trying to get down a hill, so you start sliding down the hill, but then you get stuck on a tree, and then like you can't jump because you're in the sliding animation, so you just start in the falling animation constantly, and then you just glitch out and die or whatever, or it teleports you back. So I definitely had a few bugs like that. The stealth is also kind of not great, but like I said, I think serviceable is kind of where I'd put that game. I didn't have any issues playing it, and I did complete it. All the achievements unlocked correctly, like that was all fine. And like I had a fine enough time playing through it, but I think that in today's day and age, like fine is not good enough. Like especially for a game that is this big, this expensive, like compared to other games that have come out even in the same genre that are just head and shoulders above this. Like you got to up your game. Fine is not enough. But the game seems to be selling okay, so whatever. I'm sure it'll have it. Also, the ending's fucking awful. At least on the Nawe side, there's a split between because Yasuke finally gets some story stuff towards the end of the game, and Nawe stuff is mostly at the beginning. But it also means that Yasuke gets like a nice sort of resolution for his stuff because he also doesn't really do anything for the rest of the game. So like the middle portion of the game is kind of like, I don't know, he just kind of feels like he doesn't really belong there in terms of like. Again, I didn't really play as him all that much, and maybe that's part of it. But it was like, I don't know, his motivations seem kind of shallow until like you get to the ending part of the game where there's like some reveals and some interesting stuff, and he kind of like, okay, cool, and that's where you get into the cool like Assassin's Templar kind of influence and where all this is kind of leading to and how it ties into the larger story. And so like that was like oh cool, and then it's like, oh yeah, also I need to finish Nawe's story, and then you kind of get to a cutscene where it's like, cool, you talk to the final boss, final fight sort of thing. You can maybe fight them for a little bit, and then it's like, okay, cool. We'll see you in the DLC, basically. Like literally just ends on you get a note from someone being like, here's the thing. I'll be in touch when I have more information, which is like, bro, come on. Like it's so just like, yeah, it was.
Like if it was a historical reference where there was a specific nod to something, it's like, oh, that's that. Maybe.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
Like,
yeah.
How do they play? Do they play quite well, the different characters?
Yeah, I think
there's much difference.
Like, I mean, they play very differently from each other, at least. Like Nawe basically is the standard Assassin's Creed, like free running, assassinating, jumping from thing. You get a grappling hook, which allows you to sort of climb up things that you can't quite reach, which is actually very, very helpful. You can also swing on it a little bit. It's a really nice addition to the kind of toolkit because it kind of opens up options a little bit. Again, they've kind of now got like a stealth system, so you can kind of crouch and hide in grass and all that kind of stuff. But you can also go prone. So like even if it's not like tall grass, you can usually kind of sneak through. There's an ability and an achievement you can get where you get like a little reed, like a reed thing, and you can like hide under shallow water and kind of breathe through it. So like again, they've added a couple of things to the toolkit, but nothing feels amazing. The combat with Nawe is quite fun though, because it's quite like the enemies tend to be quite powerful. And if you get surrounded, it very much feels like that Ghost of Tsushima thing where it's like you fight more than 5 guys at once, you're probably in trouble, so you got to be real careful. Whereas Yasuke can't like climb things for the most part. He's really, really slow, and so it's all about like has very little stealth. Even his like assassination alerts everyone around him after he kills them. So it's just about like if you want to go in and just tank a bunch of enemies and not do any of the stealth, you can do that. And Yasuke is so powerful and has like so many healing kits and like abilities that like I never died as Yasuke ever the entire game. even going up against enemies who are way more powerful, as long as you got the patience. And
it's
so,
not like a brawler then, is he?
Yeah, he's a brawler, which again just does not fit into this game. Like it just, anytime I was going to play the game, I was like, you can. It gives you the choice quite a bit to play as Yasuke or Naoe, and I always pick Naoe because I was like, I wanted the more interesting Assassin's Creed stealth ninja experience, and the samurai part just didn't really appeal to me. It really, I talked about this last week, but it really feels like they were. And sorry, I know this is supposed to be a quick one, but it really feels like they saw Ghost of Tsushima came out and they're like, fuck, we can't do a single character who is half samurai, half ninja because they've already done it. So we have to do 2 characters if we do it. And, like it really feels like the kind of thing where Yasuke would have normally have been like a DLC for this game that has a new character with a new set of kit and a new way to play, but maybe set in the same map. When they, it's have like, they save money.
Oh, Valhalla has raids, doesn't it?
Yeah, like kind of like that.
Character.
Yeah, exactly, right? Where it's like they kind of change up the game a little bit with a different character. Like I think it also feels weird because when you play as one character, the other character just disappears. So like, you see Yasuke and Naoe in some scenes sometimes, but if you're just playing as Naoe, Yasuke just vanishes and vice versa. So, and sometimes it's for narrative reasons, sometimes they are in different places, but there's a lot of time where they're like, okay, we're storming this temple or we're storming this castle. We're both in the cutscene, and then one of them disappears, and then they reappear after the cutscene or during the cutscene, but just not in the gameplay. And like, I really feel like it would have actually benefited a lot to have both of them in the game at the same time, potentially. I don't know. Again, like maybe like have AI control it or something. I don't know. But yeah, I wasn't overly impressed, to be honest. I think it was a fine enough game and it played well enough, but I just think it has a lot of the same trappings as the older games and hasn't really evolved, which is funny enough what people were saying about the old Assassin's Creeds before they moved to this one, with that they kind of were feeling long in the tooth and kind of done with it. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, were they supposed to have co-op in it before?
I don't know, actually. I mean, that would have made a lot of sense. It really feels like it's kind of, I think it would have made a lot of sense. But also, I feel like anyone who played as Yasuke would have been lagging behind someone playing as Naoe all the time. Because he's just, he's like...
He just plays a tank, doesn't he?
He's a
walks
tank.
Down the street, whereas he jumps from building to building.
Yeah, and
you just have to,
and like
make the pacing different. Sorry.
Yeah, it feels like the game was not made for him at all. Like, because there's so much, like he can't even climb, like you can't really do like the leap of faith thing or climb up to the top of a thing to observe an area. You have to play as Naoe to do that. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, but I'm glad I played through it, and I like Assassin's Creed, and I was interested. I'm always interested in that kind of meta narrative of the assassins and the Templar and stuff.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's a little bit of a Gears of War thing, though, isn't it? Like if you've got 2 characters, if you're in co-op, you split them off into different areas. They're doing different things.
And so
that would cool.
And so the best parts of this game are parts where you're going after one of the main targets, and it's a thing where it's like, okay, Naoe's going to do a thing, and then you automatically switch to Yasuke to do a different part of the plan. Where it's like he's going to go and fight the guy second in command, challenge him to a duel, attract attention, while Naoe goes and sneaks and basically sets off a bunch of fireworks to distract them, while then Yasuke goes and basically breaks down a door, and then Naoe goes and then you choose which one of them is going to climb to the top of the tower to defeat the big guy at the end. So like there's
fun.
Like it feels like they've got a couple of ideas there, but it just does not capitalize on any of them. It's really, really shallow. Which is a real shame. So I will be quick with this one. Mortal Shell, I finished. So I finished the DLC. Cameron?
I was going to say, do we want to move on to the other Ubisoft game that we've...
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, let's do that after. So I would just say Mortal Shell, I finished, did the DLC for that. Finally did my last 3 runs of it. A lot easier than the base game because like the roguelike elements allow you to kind of get more powerful, and also you can kind of cheese it with save states and stuff. But glad to be done with that. But that was a really, really good like project game. I did not need to play through that game 9 times though. It's a shortish game, but there's not enough content for a roguelike mode. They really should have just left it out. But yes, we also have been playing Wildlands, the DLC. So I talked a little about this last week how I finished the base game. So we did. You
mean the old game from a few years ago?
Yeah. So the Ghost Recon Wildlands, which was 2017, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that.
So we did the base game. So Keo, Cameron, Stubby, and myself have been working on that. Kind of been playing it co-op each night. having a decent time with it. It's really brain dead. The game has got nothing in terms of story or anything. But we finished the base game, started the DLC. We did the Fallen Ghosts first because that was the shorter one. The idea is that they the two DLCs split the map in half. So one DLC is on one half of the map and the other DLC is on the other. So Fallen Ghosts basically is the idea that the police force who was kind of opposing you but also opposing the gangs has now taken over with the vacuum from the end of the game. And you have to basically go in and clear them out again. But now they have a bunch of new variants of super soldiers. So you have a guy who's like fully armored, so you have to shoot him in the head to kill him. You got like snipers who can kill you in one hit. You got guys with the stealth camo, that classic Ghost Recon stealth camo that you can wear. They're like hunting you with crossbows and knives and shit. And then you've got like jammers who jam all of your equipment, so all of your radar and your like drones and abilities and stuff. So you have to they're wearing mobile jammer packs. It's an interesting idea. It took us maybe 6 hours or so. Yeah.
Sorry, you forgot about one enemy. It was trying to get the game to connect.
Yes, that's the number one enemy of this game is Ubisoft's connection issues. Yeah, that's the.
I can talk about my experiences.
Oh yeah. I want to hear.
Look, half the struggle. Look, it was bad enough trying to connect in this game anyway, and then my Xbox Series X died. It got fried, I think, from my HDMI switcher or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Dead? Like
dead, as in like no power to it. Dead, as in gone skis. I have to send it away, get it repaired or something. So we'll see what happens. So I had two options: install it on my Xbox One, which I did. Well, really, I just took the hard drive and put it in. And I'm like, yes, it's on the hard drive. I don't have to download it anymore. But my Xbox One console has a strict NAT, and I haven't been able to remove it. So I haven't been able to connect to these boys through that. So I'm like, right, well, it's in the cloud. Let's go with that then. And I had to go through, the first 2 nights, we had some really dodgy times. And I was basically just had no control of my sticks, anything, just a blur on the screen. It was all like, classic Xbox 360 browns and greens on the screen, pixelated.
Gunmetal grey and dogshit brown, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and yeah, so I fiddled around with my router, features that I'd seen them in the past and used them, but had forgotten about them and managed to fix up my router in a way that basically routed all of my data to the one computer that was using the cloud. So, because I don't have great internet, and then it was perfectly fine. So, but still connecting and actually using this game with it, like it seems like every single game, it's me and Shadow that have.
Yeah, Stubby and I seem to be able to connect just fine, but it's always like cameras have a lot of issues.
The guy that lives in a field.
And the guy lives in an island.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's an island.
I've got like 1 terabyte download. It's fine.
Exactly right.
1 gigabyte.
Yeah. And I'm like 50 down, 25 up, or something, whatever that is.
Yeah.
So,
for whatever reason, mine takes like 10-15 minutes. Like, I've seen videos on YouTube where you have to like wait 10-15 minutes on the main menu to connect to the Ubisoft servers and then join the game.
Which seems to work, to be fair. I guess I don't know what's up with that, but it does work. We have been able to connect most nights, but we do spend like half an hour trying to get the game together to do all these missions, which is getting a bit rough because it does get quite late. But
I will say with the new DLC though, the thing I wanted to point out is like it is such a mismatch of their other.
For sure, talk about that. I want to hear your thoughts about that because we were talking about this on the party last night.
Yeah, so we've been playing Narcos Road, and it feels very weird because you've got your stunt trick kind of stuff that you would compare to something like Steep or Riders Republic.
Yeah.
Like there feels like aspects of these games that are borrowed from other games that came out later.
It's like it feels like the Crew Motorfest meets Steep, or Riders Republic meets
Riders Republic. What else is there
like
in
Forza?
there?
There's some trial stuff in there as well. Yeah. Like it feels it's like an Ubisoft grab bag. The whole thing is that like you're undercover as one of like the gang members now, and so now they got you doing like crazy stunts and shit for some reason. Again, the story is paper thin, so who knows? But
we all know that the gang members love Trials Fusion.
Yeah,
that's 100% the thing that we've learned from this DLC. It's also some of these tricks that like it's like do a 5 minute drift and it counts. Like there's no difficulty
on any
this.
vehicle, like a bike, whatever.
Yeah.
So
There's no difficulty. It's very easy, but it's very monotonous work.
And then there's also side missions where you're like, hey, drive a food truck that has someone making meth in the back and try to get it somewhere before it explodes. Like it feels like a Saints Row mission, you know, like they're taking the piss. It's so strange. Like the tone is so weird.
What was the comment I made about Bolivia last night?
We were saying it was the Bolivian. It was something I can't remember. It was.
You didn't really expect to do
Bolivians love monster trucks was the whole thing you were talking about, because it's just monster trucks for some reason. I don't know. It's a very, very strange
every area had just had a monster truck. This DLC.
Yeah, but we're playing through that. There isn't. Yeah, we'll probably talk more about it once we finish it. But it is very strange.
Have you guys played Breakpoint then?
We all bought it because we're all going to play it right after this, aren't we, fellas?
I reckon.
We agree.
I think it's great. I think they're great games.
It's no DLC
if it's in the cloud, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, we can just roll straight into it, mate. It'll be great. I did buy Breakpoint was on sale just because everyone was like, we're going to do Wildlands, we'll do Breakpoint afterwards, so we will do it.
No Breakpoint during April.
No, it will probably be after as well. So it's basically as it is. So
no Breakpoint during April, or I will be at my breaking.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I have a couple more, but I'll talk a little bit about them afterwards. Lee, what about you? What have you been working on for the last several months?
Diablo 4.
Oh yes, I've heard of it.
Oh yeah.
Quite good. I enjoyed the DLC in this last season's been a bit flat, but I think it's one of those kind of they kind of TikTok bit because they obviously don't want to smash it too much. But I think next month could be fun. But yeah, so I've been Diablo 4ing. But you're talking about Sniper Resistance. So I played this game. I actually listened to you guys playing it. I think you played it, Cameron, didn't you?
Yeah, I've had I mean, it's a sniper game, but at the same time, it's had that many issues with it that
it's terrible. It's a terrible, terrible game.
It's not a sniper game. The problem I have is the Sniper Elite series is great in terms of co-op. Like, there's not many co-op games that you can just go in there and completely understand what you need to do straight away.
And fully play a whole campaign co-op. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and everything seems to work. The problem with Resistance is it's just got way too many bugs.
It's not a sniper game though. Like the first mission is vaguely sniper. You start off, you're shooting all the web bridges up, and that's great. But then you have to go in there and blow up stuff and make lots of noise. I'm like, no sniper goes in there and blows up an AT-AT gun.
But do you have a sniper?
I have a sniper gun.
Yeah,
but I have to go and lay bombs.
Are you resisting? I'm resisting the.
You're resisting turning it off. Yeah.
And then the second mission, like you start off, you kind of sniper the guy on the hill, and you go in there, and then you can never get high, and it ends up just being a brawl. Like it's just a complete nightmare, and you're running around digging around cupboards and stuff, and picking up secret weapons.
Is the second one the dam?
The first one's a dam. The first one's a dam.
Oh yeah.
And the second one's a city. You go into a little village city place. The Germans have taken over. You're gonna go and take them out. Take out a couple guys, some sort of super sniper guy. But it's a complete nightmare. Like it plays, you basically have to go and shoot people with machine guns because there's no snipering going on. It's terrible.
I've got I want to say 10 achievements or so left. The things I don't like about it is they added that solo mode where you have to essentially headshot everybody. It's skill based.
And people keep jumping in my game as well. What's that all about?
How dare they?
You can turn that off. You know that, right?
I know. Yeah, I realized. Oh yeah, I left it on, not knowing what it was. And then these people kept joining my game and killing me. I'm like, what's this going on with this?
One of them to join, kill them, get the achievement, and then turn it off. The biggest problem I have is whenever I try and finish Mission 4, regardless of platform, whether it be cloud, PC, Xbox, Mission 4 always crashes with my save file. So I'm missing the authentic difficulty. I'm missing the complete the campaign. I'm missing complete Mission 4.
So you might just need to scrub your whole
profile. I'm trying to get every other achievement done. And then Corey, who I've been doing most of it with, has made authentic saves at the end of each level for me. So then I can hopefully reset my save go through and just quickly smash it out. But I don't know if that's going to be the case either. Like, I've done several bug reports, and
Yeah,
How does
Rebellion.
it compare to the rest of the sniper games, this game? I'm just kind of curious. I haven't really played much of the other sniper games. Is it a very similar sort of thing there?
I finished 5 in Jan or February, I want to say. It's the exact same. Like, usually, I will agree, they do have much more open maps than the other ones. Resistance is very recycled content. There's some stuff that I've like definitely the survival missions and all that are the same survival missions out of 5.
Oh, okay. Right.
So there is a bit of repetition with that kind of stuff.
I was surprised the game was coming out at all. Like when they announced it, I was like, oh, it seems a bit early for another sniper game. Like
the fact that Rebellion has managed to get Resistance done quickly, as well as
Adamfall.
But I mean, like, the problem is I do enjoy these kind of games. Like, they're mindless. You know, there's that many there's that few games when it comes to co-op experiences where I can just jump in with somebody and, like, especially with it being on Game Pass.
Yeah. Like, I enjoyed Sniper Elite 4 and 3 back in the day. Like 3 was pretty good, and even 2 back in the 360 days. You know, like they were cool games.
Well, yeah, I was working on Zombie Army Trilogy after you guys did it, and it was just very easily jump in and just do it. Exactly like you're saying. Yeah.
And I've done Strange Brigade as well. Like, again, like Rebellion have put out some. Again, they're not like AAA level quality stuff, but they're a lot of like relatively fun games for the most part.
They're good co-op experience. Co-op always seems to work for me.
Yeah,
but yeah,
single
Resistance
player.
is buggy.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's the issue. I'm going to get Resistance with somebody. Maybe more fun. Because it's just.
I definitely recommend. Like,
or I get die.
Yeah.
Even bad games can be good if you have a co-op partner.
For someone, yeah, for sure.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah, for sure.
What else you got, Lee?
No, scrub. No, scrub.
Yeah. Mullet Mad Jack.
Oh yeah, they just came to Game Pass recently, right? The really artistic style, like really interesting, like comic book kind of thing.
Cartoony sort of style, FPS. And so the basic premise is that you are a guy with a mullet, and you have to kill the robots every 10 seconds, the alien robots, to rescue the princess. And then each level, there's 10 levels to go up. If you die, you go back to level 1.
Oh, okay, right.
And it resets. And you still lose all your stuff, but every level you get a little bonus. So it could be a different gun, could be bonuses for killing things, could be like shields, could be more time. I got to level 4 like about 8 times and got sick of it in the end.
I feel like that I've probably the same with me.
Like, is this a repetition game, or is it like the same bonus each time?
No, different levels. The levels are all different.
It's like a roguelike, basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But you don't carry, when you die, you die. You don't carry any gear.
Okay.
But it randomly gives you, like, level 1 gives you random weapons, like it could be a machine gun or a machete or something. I don't know. It was fine. But yeah, 20 seconds, like 20, 30 seconds. If you go through the level real fast, kicking seems the way to go.
Oh, okay.
But if you're kicking and miss stuff, then you don't obviously knock stuff out quick enough because you're flying through the levels too quickly. And that's when you die because you haven't actually managed to kick any robots. You've just been flying through the level too fast.
Yeah. Okay. It's interesting. Yeah, I was kind of keeping an eye on it. It doesn't really look like I like the sort of concept and the art style and stuff, but I think
that's what attracted me was the look of it. I thought that looks fun. It could be a fun little game just to jump in and I kind of read it was quite easy to complete. I thought, oh yeah, sweet. But it's fine. I think it's a bit R&D, so you kind of get a good level that's fast. You're fine. Yeah. There's a few that are hills. You're just going down a hill, kicking things, and that works really well because in 20 seconds you're on the mission. But then over time, it's lots of corridors and stuff.
Sure.
It takes a bit longer. Then you've actually got to kill some of the robots to get through.
Yeah, I'm keen on it. I heard like mission 10 people were having issues with being able to be completed.
Yeah,
like just bugs.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if the patch came out for it yet.
Yeah. Interesting. And talking of co-op games, I've been playing MechWarrior 5 Clans.
Oh yeah, okay. I have I got the previous one, the Mercenaries.
Yeah, so I've been playing that. I played that with mate on PC, and he was like, because the DLC is coming out soon for it, and he hit me up 2 weeks ago and says, "Hey, we should do Clans, do the main story, and then because he's on PC on Xbox, and then when that comes out, we can be ready to go." I was like, "Oh yeah, sweet." So every Wednesday at 8 o'clock, we now do a couple hours.
Cool.
Man, this game is Oh, it's just a terrible looking game though. Like the
Yeah.
If you watch any of the videos, everyone's mouth, it looks like they've animated it with the face is different to the mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like a little bit blurry, you know, they kind of like, oh, let's hide away how bad it looks. We're just making it a little bit blurry, a little bit of Vaseline on the screen sort of style.
Yeah.
And everyone talks and their teeth show all the time. It's just terrible.
They spend all the money on
anime.
the mechs.
Yeah. But the mechs is fun because obviously you're running a mech. It is a bit weird how they do it. So you kind of start on the light mechs, 25 to 40 sort of size, and you have to level up your character to get better mechs. Which means that by the end of the game, you've got really good mechs, but you've also completed the game.
So you've got nothing to use them on, yeah.
You've got nothing to use them on, but you really want the mechs, because you'll find hard mechs at the beginning with these little light mechs, and it's just a bit of a panic mostly.
Because you're sprinting around and trying to get
faster.
shot. Yeah.
I went, let's go really light with lots of lasers, which is fine until you overheat.
Yeah.
And then you're just standing there going, cool. And then you kind of find some water or something, and yeah. So I got to like level 5 in the end. We've just got a decent mech. Got a Nova, which has like 12 lasers, 6 lasers on each arm.
Oh, hell yeah.
That works. Got to be a little bit careful about melting, but it does work really well. It kind of, yeah. So we're just kind of getting to the point now, level 5, about 7 or 8 missions in, and the stuff's actually getting better. And it's all clan stuff. I don't even know MechWarrior, but all the clan stuff's really good. All the ER stuff is really good,
Like
really
factions,
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You're finding it's another faction which is coming to take over Terror, and you know the story is loose.
Yeah,
Yes, and it's,
I played a little bit of Mercenaries, which is, again, it's like, I think it runs on the same engine. It's pretty much the same kind of game. They just kind of...
yeah, it's very similar. Yeah.
I just really got overwhelmed by the choice, because it's like, you know, you can build your mech kind of however you want. You're like, oh,
play clans then,
Yeah,
because it literally gives you a mech that's built. Because clans, because you're normally a faction which hasn't got much money, so you're doing lots of scavenging and fixing and repairing.
Yeah, right.
Clan guys always had lots of money. They all had the best gear.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And all you're doing is you say you pick scientists who'll fix your mechs. We've probably got enough scientists. Every mission, your mech's fixed again.
Oh, okay,
Like
yeah.
my literal mech got down to 20% damage left out of 100%, and next mission it was 100% again. It was fixed.
Damn.
And my arm that had fallen off was back again. That was awesome. Yeah. So you get like, and when you level up, you get a different build, different body mech, different type of mech, and then you give you 2 different builds. Could be like a laser build or whatever. So you can kind of go.
So it's like, it's more like
this is
structured.
finished. Very structured. Yeah,
Right,
very
okay.
much so.
That's more my speed,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Because I think the thing with
Yeah.
the thing with Mercenaries was, it was like, okay, cool, go to a planet and find some things to do, and then it's like, do enough things to level up, and then we'll give you another story mission. And I was like, "Ooh, okay, it's like, okay, make sure you hire some co-pilots and make sure you get them in some good mechs." I'm like, what's a good mech? I just felt super overwhelmed.
And there's also a time thing on the mechs on the mercenary as well.
Yeah.
Because if you go to a certain point, it all changes.
Yeah.
Because the clan stuff comes in. And there's a whole kind of 100 years later, this happens, and all the clans come in, and it all changes.
Jesus,
and different gears available. It's a nightmare. Whereas my mate Richard loves that side of it. He would strip down the mech and then rebuild it again.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, all right, I'll put this on here because of this and this. I'm like, bro, just do what you like.
Put some fucking lasers on it and be done with it.
Yeah, exactly. Give me lasers and some like shoot distant missile things and a flamethrower maybe.
Great. Okay, I might check that out then. Actually, sounds great.
Yeah, just expect the cutscenes are atrocious though. They're so bad. And really overacting, real bad voice acting, overacting, all that sort of stuff on it as well.
Apparently, it didn't sell very well, so I think the company's in a bit of trouble. So I'm probably not surprised.
No, you know the main boss guy, the beefy kind of old, haggard, scarred, typical looking kind of Avatar sort of style guy. Him.
Yeah.
He's in charge. He's seen it all before. It's like cliche after cliche. That's been my last like 2 or 3 weeks anyway. Just doing that. I did try some other stuff, but
yeah.
Oh, Citizen Sleeper 2's fun though. I did play that.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's on Game Pass, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I jumped into that because I saw one in there or something.
Yeah, one's in there as well. Yeah.
One's in there as well. So 2 came out. And I thought, I'll play that. It's actually really interesting. You're playing like a robot that's detached himself from his owner because you're playing you have a clone as a human. You have a clone or something, a clone robot of you to do all your work for you, and you detach yourself, and then you're on the run, and you're being chased by this guy who's going, you run away, come back, sort of thing, and he kind of chases you, and you go to different like planets and outposts, and you're trying to get money, so you do work for people, and there's all the drama, and it's cool, it's interesting, it's very interesting. It's all turned on dice, which makes it really difficult sometimes.
Yeah, that's that. I played a little bit of the first game, and I was like, oh, okay, this is this is RNG like the game basically because everything's a dice roll.
Everything's a dice roll, yeah, and you can kind of obviously you can boost stuff to make it better. You can load it your way, but you still got those 6 dice, and sometimes you got 5 because one of them gets burnt out because you failed using it. Like if it loses a life. The dice. I think it does it 3 times. That dice disappears until you recover it again. So there's that kind of. Ooh, do I take a risk on this dice? Because if I do, I might lose it for the next time round, and I've got to fix the dice almost. So it's like, yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of cool. It's very well done, but that dice thing was killing me in the end. I was running out of dice, so I think that's why I stopped playing. Because I was getting a bit like, oh no, this is bad. Yeah. Interesting. Worth a play though. Like because it's kind of cool. It is a very cool looking game. Yeah.
I'll check it out. Keo, what have you got for us?
So as I was saying before, I lost my Xbox, so I've just been kind of installing everything to my PC. So everything that I can test, I've tried to test. So I've started downloading some Call of Duty stuff. I downloaded Forza Horizon 5 because a new update's coming out, and I hadn't done the hide and seek stuff yet. I actually went and did pretty much. I did I think about 35 hide and seek rounds of a night, and then had to come back the next day and do the final one, which was get 20. The achievement to get 20 hits with the on the seeker.
Yeah,
you had to be the hider and then get 20.
You got to fight. Yeah, 20 wins. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was interesting because I'd gotten to 19 the night before, and then the cat just decided to bang on doors and attract my wife and get in the way and do all kinds of stuff. So I actually lost out when the perfect opportunity to get that the night before. So I had to go back and do that last achievement. But yeah, that runs super smooth on PC, by the way. So Horizon is so well optimized. I actually downloaded Forza Motorsport just to see. I haven't tried it out yet, just because of that. I'm like, these games they work really well. So yeah. Other than that, I downloaded Dark Tide, so the Warhammer 40k, and what else did I download? Lords of the Fallen, because I still need to do a co-op run with Stubby. So I went on and did the PvP achievements in that as well, which was just invade somebody's world. And, I couldn't defeat the Xbox guys, but the PlayStation guys...
They're all scrubs.
Yeah, they went down real quick,
scrubs.
Didn't they? So I went and did those because I had to also get severed hands, I think it is, and then go and offer them to the shrine as well. So other than that, the only other main thing I've been playing is actually BioShock 2 on Games for Windows Live.
Wow. Okay, that's a throwback.
Yeah. So this is one of those things where it's like every Games for Windows game I had legitimately before the store shut down, the marketplace. And I've still got these games lying around that I never finished. And it's half of them, it was because the games just didn't run on the PC that I had at the time. Same issue with Forza Motorsport 6, the Apex one, where they had limited timed events that you can't get the achievements for now, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I've got all the DLC for all these games, and I'm just like, my hard drives are going to die one day. I really want to burn through at least a couple of these. But yeah, it's been a long time since I played BioShock 2. And I had I think my actual proper first encounter with the big sister today, and I'm like, I forgot how going into that fight, how difficult it is the first few times you try to beat it.
Yeah.
But really, I just worked out that if you just go in there with the drill,
drill just works every time.
Drill, electroshock, and it's because I got stuck on that for a little bit because I was out of ammo, and I'm like, I've only got this drill thing. So, and I didn't think I could do anything with it. But I'm having fun with it. It's really good to play that again.
Yeah, love that
actually.
game.
So, yeah, getting a few crashes here and there. I couldn't play this one on my old PC because I was using the Surface, and that had an internal hard drive, but it always looked for an actual proper hard drive.
Oh, right.
It was one of the problems that the game had, where so many people have had trouble with BioShock 2 crashing and not being able to work. I think one of you guys over there, Lee, had trouble with BioShock 2 as well.
Probably Simone. Simone was playing it, I think, wasn't she?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The PC version or something wasn't running. So, yeah. So other than that, this is that's pretty much been it. I've just been scrambling and just finding random things to do and stuff like that.
Do you miss your Xbox?
Funny enough, the only thing I need it for right now is to play X Defiant.
Yeah,
And
right, of course.
I'm not in a rush to get back to that, but I'm like, "Oh, I just know it's timed. This is a
You need
time-based
to get it
event in my
done sooner
life."
rather than later.
Yeah.
So I have to get my Xbox repaired to do a game that's dying. So other than that, I've been perfectly fine doing everything else. You know, even going back to 360 stuff and yeah. But yeah, I mean, if they're going down the road of, making everything for PC, as long as I've got something that runs it, or if it goes in the cloud, which I've had to do with the Assassin's Creed games, like that's how I had to play Shadows.
Right.
And I tried to stream it. I managed to get actually, yeah, I did try to play that. I got through Yasuke's stuff, but as soon as my stuff came up with the on the horseback, like the first time you see her, it was just muddy again. So I think I need to either put that aside or what. I downloaded Mirage again instead, so I'm gonna play that because that works on the one. So yeah, so that's pretty much where I'm at next. So, but yeah, that's everything. So.
Cameron?
I've already talked about Speculative Eye View, but the only other game I've been playing this week is Dying Light 2.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yep, those
So,
collectibles, huh?
what was that?
The collectibles?
Yeah.
You still on that?
So after I did Dying Light 1, which has been in my backlog for like 10 years, with how difficult the Bozak Horde achievements were, I decided that I wanted to get Dying Light 2 done before Dying Light the Beast comes out in the summer. Dying Light 2 has 4 missable achievements, 2 of which relate to collectibles. I'm gonna split this into a few different components. So gameplay wise, I love this. This is one of my favorite games in terms of gameplay. There's something about mixing zombie killing that feels like, I guess, Dead Island with the parkour of Mirror's Edge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where I love like I've spoken before, I love games like Titanfall, Sunset Overdrive, where your speed or your ability to move around a map quickly is just so beneficial. The mechanics wise with your movement, it starts off pretty slow, but then like 10 to 20 hours once you do a few upgrades, like everything's beautiful. The story is a much better version of Dead Island 2.
Okay.
Which is funny. Like in terms of one person is turned and then
I vaguely remember the story from Dead Island 2, vaguely.
I think the writing's much better this game. The open world is like massive. It's essentially like 2 massive hub areas joined by one single train station.
Do you think it's too big? Like there's just too much to it?
No, I like you got a paraglider, you've got a grappling hook, it's very easily to navigate the map. And to get to the other side of the map is like about 5 minutes.
Okay, it's not too bad, yeah.
It's not that bad. Paragliding, if you tilt back, it will adjust your way up and you can hit like speed pops and all that to just go higher and higher. Problem I have is there's no clear way to mark collectibles in this game. I'm using like PowerPix's guides. The only thing that's truly collectibles that can be marked off the map is like windmills, and there's an achievement relating to putting all 7 of the structures like electricity, water, and all that to one particular faction.
Mm-hmm.
So that is easily missable. There is a missable achievement when you collect the inhibitors, which is the only other collectible that shows up in the map. I maxed out all my stamina first. I think they must have one point changed it to upgrade your survival, like your health, essentially, once. But like stamina being fully maxed, you just breeze through.
Right.
Like I'm up to the point, like early game volatiles, one hit, you're screwed. Which volatiles are the most, like the strongest enemies in the game. They're very fast. The exact same in Dying Light 1. Second one, like by end game, I was just one hitting them. just very satisfying when they're still incredibly fast. I've got 10 achievements to do. I've got a whole bunch of collectibles, which I've been breaking up into pieces because I think there's like 300 or so.
Yeah, okay.
There's like 70 graffiti aspects. There's 170 when it comes to mementos. There's certain side missions that spawn certain collectibles. If you miss them because you went with a particular faction, then you miss it out. Actually, the thing I should mention, there is one collectible at the very start of the game when you're going through a building and just, discussing with one of your friends what happened prior. Because this Dying Light 2 has a new protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
There is a newspaper on the kitchen table in the house that you enter. If you do not collect it, it is not possible to get it without starting a brand new game.
There's New Game Plus, though, technically, right?
There is a New Game Plus. I haven't tested it yet, but there was a New Game Plus at launch, so I don't know if it is a case of that. Every other every other collectible, you can join a co-op game. It's fine. You might have to replay some chapters. The other aspect of this game that I do not like is there is an achievement for 960 kilometers traveled. Finishing the game, have done like 25%. Your movement with your grappling hook, your movement with your paraglider, any vertical movement upwards, these don't count for your movement tract.
So it's all steps.
Yep, it's all steps. You got to get your steps in. So,
should have played this in April, mate.
April Achievement Challenge.
Yeah,
just add that to your total, 960 kilometers.
So, 100%. So when they announced this game, did anybody remember the marketing beat where they said this game is a 500-hour game?
Yes, I do remember that because of all the potential things that you could do. Yeah, I do remember that.
So I'm 100 hours into this game. This is not a 500-hour game. This is a 500-hour game if you need to walk everywhere.
Sure.
There is a particular mission where you start to turn, though, kind of thing, that you can speed your movement up. So there is a way because you're in a hole, so you can just spin around in the hole.
Okay, yeah.
And get it up. But you have to go to that particular mission. It's really annoying. The DLC for it, I've only done a few missions. Seems pretty good. Like the side quests in this game are pretty well written, and you need to do it to unlock certain collectibles. So,
they did get. Who did they get to write for that game? There was someone who was relatively famous involved. I'm trying to remember who it was now. It's been a while.
What do you mean?
For Dying Light, I know for Dying Light 2 they had like a writer actually write some of the story person. I'll look it up while you're talking. But
I know. I was gonna say some of the side quests are really good. Some of the side quests are like, I need to get my bees.
Oh, okay, all right.
And fall apart. But yeah, in terms of gameplay, I love this game. I just really wish they thought the achievements out a bit more.
Chris Avalon, as I was thinking of, I think he got fired from the project, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Trying to think if there's any other aspects. And because it is technically a live service game, the after game support is really so Baron gave me all the stuff. As soon as you fully max out your character, there is what's called legend levels.
Mm-hmm.
Legend levels, every level that you gain, you get a crate. You can open it for a high leveled weapon, or you can get like cosmetic gear and that kind of stuff, right? But they add different tiers on post game, so it might be like 4% extra damage for melee hits and all that. So because the duplication glitch still works in these games, Baron gave me a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm already like level 200.
Right. Okay.
And everything is you're just completely overpowered. It's great.
Got it.
But yeah, a lot of cleanup I'm going to be doing.
A lot of walking, apparently.
A lot of walking. I'll probably try and finish as much as I can over the next few days, and then put it on pause and then come back to it.
Doesn't need an elastic band to be in that hole. That's what you need, isn't it?
Yep. So yeah, I was trying to turbo it but it kept on pausing every 10 minutes, so I got to find a way around that.
Yeah.
I might have to write a script for me to walk around in circles.
Oh God, yeah, that's horrific.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, Dying Light 2 is pretty much my entire week at the moment, and just preparing myself for. I've been walking every single night this week in preparation for April Achievement Challenge.
Hell yeah.
So. Yeah.
I just want to talk about my last two games. I'll talk about them together because there are technically one's a sequel to the other. So I played. I just want to get the full title here. If it loads, which it will not, because why would anything work? So I picked up, I talked about this a little bit last week, Ender Lilies Quietus of the Nights and Ender Magnolia Bloom in the Mist. So Ender Lilies is the original game, Ender Magnolia is the sequel. They are side-scrolling Metroidvanias, and I finished up Lilies last night, and I started Magnolia today. Magnolia is probably one of the best Metroidvanias I've ever played in my entire life. It is so good. So again, standard Metroidvania sort of thing. You wake up, no memories, in a lab. You basically need to go around through a kingdom that's the Ender Lilies is very Dark Souls inspired, very Hollow Knight, quite tough enemies. 2 or 3 hits and you're dead. Limited healing. You have to go to certain spots to heal yourself, respites to relax, to get your health back and your heals back, but also all the enemies respawn like a bonfire. The story is told very much through like finding notes and like implication and understanding, and the whole thing is that from what I've pieced together, this world is basically has a thing called the Blight, which has come from like underground or somewhere, that infects people, turns them into like zombies, and they lose their mind. And to combat this kingdom basically did like a bunch of evil dark art stuff to create basically make people immortal by basically giving their soul to a person. And so there's like one person in this world, one person at a time in this world, like a bloodline that can resist this blight. And so you are part of that bloodline, apparently. And so the idea is you need to go around and like cleanse as many of these people as possible to try and save them. And as you cleanse them, then they join your side and you can use their abilities. And that's how you get a double jump and a dash, but also how you get all of your combat abilities. So Ender Lilies, it's a little rough around the edges. Like the map is basically just like, it'll show you like a block that you're in, but it won't show you any of the details. But it will change color when you've got everything in it, so you kind of know when you've completed an area, when you might still be missing something, but it doesn't really tell you where that thing is in that area. The combat is also a little bit clunky in that you have some abilities that you can just use over and over, but you have some that have limited charges that you have to recharge. And you also have a lot of abilities because every single boss or mini boss that you defeat will give you a new ability, but you can only have like three of them on one hotbar, and then you can switch to another that has another 3. So you basically end up with like 6 abilities. One of them is probably going to be your basic attack. So you really only end up with maybe like 5. And so it feels a bit limited. But you can you can level them up, you collect souls, you find items to level up your health. There's also like a leveling system up to level 100. You find equipment like relics to change your stats and to give you bonuses. It's like very, very traditional Metroidvania, but like really, really well made and well understood, with a really sort of dark, gothic, quite tough gameplay style to it. Really, really enjoyed it. Finished it last night and then immediately jumped straight into Ender Magnolia, which is like, they were like, hey, Kate, everything that people didn't like about the first game, we've improved on it. And it's like, I'm only about halfway through it. It's fantastic. They're like, hey, that map problem, we're actually going to show you on the maps, like topography and actually what the maps actually look like. And they change color when you're done with them. We show things on the map like items and stuff once you've discovered them, even if you can't get to them. There are just as many bosses and mini bosses, but now only the main bosses give you new abilities. The mini bosses give you upgrade materials for your main abilities. So now, for example, the first person you start with is it's set in the same universe but in a different kingdom. So this kingdom is all about like robots, and they call them homunculus. They're basically like androids. Where the first game was very much like Dark Souls, this is very much like Nier Automata in terms of like, does a robot have a soul? What does it mean if these robots are infected with blight? Can you save them? Should you save them? There's like a lot of like interesting kind of things going on with that, but it has like a more like magical tech kind of slant to it as opposed to the more like gothic knights and armor and sword stuff. But it's interesting. So you like the first one you unlock, for example, is like a homunculus that you find that has a sword ability, but you can find upgrade materials to change that to a scythe ability or an axe ability. And so instead of having so many different things, you basically focus on like so far it's like 5 or 6. I think it probably goes up to like 10 different abilities. And so you still have that hot bar of like 3 or 4 abilities, but you can kind of swap them out a bit more readily, and you can kind of invest more into them. It also has they give you some you get like a dash much earlier on, and it's just a joy to play. They also like add fast travel. You can teleport to any fast travel point you've been to from anywhere, so you don't have to find another one. Like the quality of life stuff in this game is fantastic. And then each of these robots also has a story. And any time that you go to a respite, you can there's like conversation options to talk to them to learn more about the world if you want. And it looks beautiful as well. Like I love the art style. It's got like really, the first game is kind of like very red, and this game's very blue. So they obviously have kind of like a motif going through it. You also are a person who has lost their memories. It seems to be a theme, but whatever. I guess it makes sense. But yeah, if you like Metroidvanias, you've probably already played both of these games. But if you have any love for the Metroidvania style, like the Castlevanias or I'm trying to think about it, like Hollow Knight or anything like that, play these games. Magnolia also has like a difficulty sliders and that kind of stuff. So like you can turn them all the way down. You get less currency, but like if you just kind of want to breeze through the game a lot easier and just have like a much more chill time, you can totally do that as well. It's so like it really feels like they were like, okay, we're gonna take this original game and just hone it and just work on it until it just shines. I'm trying to. I think
do
it
you
came
need to play Lilies as well? Can you play one or the other?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's set in the same world, but I think there's like 6 kingdoms in this world, so this is like a different kingdom. So you'll see references to things like I found like flowers and references to the Blight and references to the first game. But so I think you'll get more out of it. But they are, I think, as far as I can tell, they're completely separate in terms of like overall stories. They're like more like self-contained stories. Yeah, and Magnolia did come out this year, so it's probably up in the running for my game of the year at this point. So it is very, very good. And I picked it up on sale. It was like 25% off already, so I was like, great, that's fantastic. I'll definitely jump on that. So I'm watching these guys with bated breath to see what they do next, because
it's only $25 anyway, isn't it? That's not expensive.
Yeah. Is this the only series they worked on, or they worked on other games in the past?
I think so. I think this is pretty much it. It's two developers. I'm trying to see Livewire if they've done anything else. No, just these two. It looks like. Ad Globe. Yep, just those two. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Again, like if you're looking for an indie game and like it's cheap, I would again play Ender Lilies first, because it is like the slightly less refined version of this. Ender Magnolia like smooths out the edges in a way that makes it going back probably a little bit harder. But yeah, both fantastic games. Like I have not been able to put them down.
I'm surprised the TA is so low.
They are not overly difficult games in terms of like, if you know your Metroidvanias, there's like very little penalty for death. Like you die and you keep all your experience. You just go back to the last respite, so you can kind of you can brute force it a little bit. And by the time you get to the end of the game, you can build combos that are just insanely overpowered. It also has it has that nice thing where it's like, but as you gain more abilities and as you become more powerful, you feel more powerful when you move through areas faster, and areas that gave you trouble first, you just kind of smash all the way through. Yeah, really, really enjoy it. I'll talk more. I'll probably try and finish up Ender Magnolia this weekend if I have time. Probably talk more about it next week. But yeah, if you're looking for indie games, like high quality ones, these are fantastic.
Cool.
All right, and I think that's pretty much everything. We've got at least for what we've been playing, we've got the word challenge, which I didn't see too many guesses. I saw a couple, but I'm going to give a big clue. So if you don't know what the word challenge is, I come up with a game every month or so and then put it in our Discord. You go on our Discord and you go to the word challenge channel and put in a game title. Make sure it's exactly right. And if you get it correct, a gift pops up and you win. So every week I give away a clue, ranging from completely unhelpful to basically giving you the answer if you watch the show live. We're getting towards that point now. I've got one more clue that I'll give next week that will basically give it away. So this one's going to help, I hope. So the first clue is this game's under $20, so it's a cheap one, or it's an old one, or both. The game is set on Earth. You fight with a sword in this game. A steel sword, just because it's no laser swords or anything, just because I got asked about that. This new clue. The developer has also made games about an alien invasion. So, not this game in particular, but another game that they've made is about alien invasions. So, that might narrow it down a little bit. I'd be very curious to see where people's mind go. Because it is, like I said, it is set on Earth. So, very, very curious.
That's not what I was thinking of.
All right, well. So, go and guess that on the chat. And best of luck to you. I'm very curious to see what people guess. And then we've also got the leaderboards. In third place, we have Northern Lass with 4,765. Thrash Rev with 30,050. And just ahead is a Grey Shark with 30,307 for this week. Yeah, everyone playing Spectre Divide, it looks like. All right. Keo, do you want to read through those completions? We got a few of them in there.
Yeah, so there's only a handful. Kirby finished Yakuza Kiwami. Alpha D Pills here did Fallout 4. Left Legacy did Spectre Divide. Shane/Firehawk D did Hitman HD Pack. And Rapture did Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Twice, actually, because he also did the Windows version just before this.
Yes.
Because it auto pops.
Yep.
Yeah, nice work, everyone. And that's pretty much going to bring us to the end of the show. A huge thank you to all of our supporters, people watching live, my wonderful hosts and Lee, and our Patreons to make the show possible. Let's get to some shilling. Lee, what do you got going on? Obviously you talked a bit about the Xbox Cast. Give us a bit of a spiel.
We are not like you. We do not do achievement challenges, I guess. We don't complete games. We play games randomly.
Outside of April.
Outside of April, yeah. Yeah, we kind of do more. So our podcast is basically us talking about the news. We do a bit more in-depth news coverage, I guess. And we'll start what we play. But we play like 2 or 3 games loosely. To have a play, mess around. I ended up playing Diablo quite a lot, which kind of took up most of last year.
Great game.
Yeah. And then we do the games that are going to come out. So we just kind of deep dive into stuff a bit more than you guys do, I guess. That's kind of what you get out of us. We have a Discord channel called the XboxCast. We have a YouTube called the XboxCast. We started doing shorts, actually. One of our listener guys, he started doing YouTube shorts for us.
Oh, okay.
I got like 500 views out of one of the shorts.
Oh, wow, okay.
It was it's insane. It's nuts. Yeah.
Shorts are
so we like
really
him.
good.
Yeah, really cool. So he's been grabbing our podcast and just messing around with it and then redoing it again.
It's a good idea.
So that's kind of fun.
Too. That's great.
Yeah, just go for it, mate. Yeah. Give me a cut of any money you make, it'll be fine.
A cut of nothing, basically.
A cut of exactly. Yeah, so we have the standard Twitch channel, the XboxCast. We have a website, the XboxCast, which you can find all the achievements, challenge stuff next month. We also do lots of different events during the year. Every couple of months, we do something. Like we had, so February was Friendly Feb. Do not play games where you kill each other. That was the idea.
It's a good one.
People just stop playing games though after a while. By the end of the week, they're like, the end of the month, they're like, I don't want. I want to kill something. So
it's just human urge to kill something. It's just too strong.
It's just too strong. Yeah.
They couldn't even deal for the shortest month of the year.
No, it's too hard. It's too much love. We don't want that much love.
That's funny.
And then we have one which is I think every 2 months basically we have one where you go back to your backlog, which is play a game, actually finish games, do not play new games, play your games, play the games you started and went like, oh yeah, I'll play it later. And then we do back to your backlog again, or number 2, which is games that you purchased but never played.
Which is what I've been doing.
That sale that you went, that sale that was there, you picked up those games and you just sat on them and you should actually play them. So it kind of forces people to play. Yeah, I know. Yes, and we have a Halloween game as well. Normally have some sort of theme in October time. Like we had The Witcher 1 month, we had Cyberpunk 1 month, so we always do something kind of either spooky or a theme, which is kind of fun. A bit like you guys where you're killing dead people, that sort of stuff. And then we do our game of the year at the end, which is always fun. Lots of good community stuff. Lots
I
of
love that. That's always good.
Simone mentioned in the chat as well. Patrons pick is in there too.
And the patrons pick, that's right. Oh, I forgot that one. Good one, Simone. That's where the patrons pick a game for us hosts to play.
That's a really good one. Yeah, I love that idea.
It's not. It's really not good. I played this stupid horse game 1 month.
Oh, no.
And games where it's like, it's fine. You can go around and pick stuff up. It's okay. But when they go, you have to walk everywhere.
Yep.
And it's like, you have to walk from the other side. And it's the slowest horse ever. And like in the end, I was like, I cannot do this anymore. I cannot walk from this side of the map to the other side to pick up a stupid flower, or take the flower back to this person called Bob who wants the flower to make. It was terrible. Yeah,
so
but they all thought it was hilarious because they give us a selection of games. It's like Carl got a game that you actually was playing anyway. You got Resident Evil 2, which he just purchased or something.
Oh wow, what a
Like,
coincidence!
how does that work? I don't know. How does that work?
He just gave the Patreon like a nice little refund for a little bit.
I think something went on there. I'm sure it was all fixed because Simone got that Stray. Simone got Stray.
Oh, Stray's great. Yeah.
Which is a cool little game, and I got Stupid Horse Game. So it's fixed. I did say you have to buy me the game though if you want to play this crap.
Yeah, that's fair. That's you know what I think that's fair enough.
Yeah. So
God,
it's fun though. We like community stuff. We like to get the guys involved. They seem to like getting involved. So I'm giving a
So what you're saying is become a Patreon member, wait till Golem's on a sale, and then.
There you go.
Gears
yeah,
of War
exactly.
5.
Yeah, buy me a
Yeah.
present.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's fun though is they have to convince everyone to vote for that game. So they can pick a game and then convince the rest of patrons to vote.
No issues with them picking.
No, exactly. The worse it is, the more it's gonna.
Yeah, for sure.
What Kong was the Skull Island one was like $8 the other day.
I picked that up. I have it sitting there ready for my milestone. So it's gonna be rough. You know, I'm waiting for that PNG dinosaur to show up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yes, but come. So I always say, come to Discord now. I've given on Twitter and all that. Just come to Discord. It's a place to hang out and talk to each other. Lee Howard on Twitter, just on Twitch.
Didn't they
Lee Howard
update that King Kong game?
Did they?
Yeah, it was a JPEG now.
Oh wow. Okay, that's something. All right. Amazing.
Yeah, that's me.
Great. Kia, what about you?
Yeah, you can just catch me on Instagram and Twitter and Twitch, all at Kia Live at Home. And if you want to catch my stuff on YouTube, which is where I post a lot of the videos and stuff like that, it's at How to Fix Game.
Great. Cameron?
Shadowless AU. I might even. You want to stream some Spectre Divide after the pod?
Yeah, we can stream some Spectre. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
People see how trash we are.
Pretty much all of. I mean, you can say that about yourself.
You're the one going to be streaming, mate. They'll be watching you, so.
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, pretty much all of April, I'm going to try and stream as many indie games and create content around it as possible. And yeah, that's pretty much me.
Cool. And I'm Neomaster on everything, True Champions, Xbox, and Discord as always. I'm doing my big backlog challenge still. These Ender Magnolia and Ender Lily games are my reward for struggling through a bunch of older games. So after that, it's back to the grindstone. But yeah, that's been episode 162. Thank you very much. We will catch you guys next week. See you later.
Peace out.
Bye.